Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to round 5 of the Full Throttle Sim Racing League's Next Gen Cup Series right here on the Indianapolis Esports Network. And we are here tonight from the Brickyard, Indianapolis Motor Speedway, for 100 laps around the infamous track, brought to you obviously by the Cube Retro Radio and the Full Throttle Friday Night Next Gen Cup Series, and of course here on the Indianapolis Esports Network. Joining tonight in the broadcast booth is Paul Jackson. Before we run through tonight's formalities, Paul, welcome to you tonight, mate. Another Friday night, another next-gen round on the Full Throttle Friday Night Next-Gen Series.
There you go, Aidan. Good to be back again in the booth for another week of next-gen racing at Indianapolis this week with the Full Throttle Series.
Can't wait for it, Paul. Brickyard, next-gen cars, 100 laps. Where else would you want to be on a Friday night but the Indisim Esports Network? But we do have a special guest up in the booth before we go into qualifying to take you for a lap around the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Dave Oliver in the 668 car. You got a copy, mate?
Copy.
Mate, well, you're the lucky one tonight to be able to bring us around a lap of Indianapolis Motor Speedway. So we'll go in car with you at the moment, just drag it out of the pits, do an out lap and then a fast lap around Indianapolis Motor Speedway and let the viewers know what it's like to drive these next-gen cars around Indianapolis.
No worries. Thank you. Yep, so just X in the pits. We've got a just under 100k limit, pit lane limit tonight. So got to be careful coming out of the pits here. They can get a little hairy if you overcook it. So if you touch the grass, it could be certain death. So. Alright, so out of turn 4, heading down the front straight here at the Indianapolis NASCAR track. So we're doing about just under 300 clicks, heading into turn 1 in 5th. Maybe a slight lift depending on your tyre conditions, but in quali you will be able to go through there flat out. Still flat out through turn 2 here. Try to get an awesome run out onto the back straight. So yeah, pretty much heading along here, just under 300, and yeah, just keep it in pretty much 5th the entire way. But yeah, you just got to watch it because it does halfway through the run, it will the tires do start to go off, and plus with the aero with these cars, it will will affect you. So you do have to watch out. So yeah, great run out of turn 4 and then heading across the line.
And that was a good lap around Indianapolis Motor Speedway there, Dave. But tonight you're coming into round 5 of the Full Throttle Friday Night Next Gen Cup Series here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. You're currently 19th in practice. How do you think your race is holding up at the moment? How do you think that car is? Because we're about to go into qualifying. Obviously, you're going to want to jump a little bit of spots there from where you are in practice. But how are you feeling going into qualifying as we're about to do that now?
Feeling pretty good, hoping for at least maybe a top 10, top 15 potentially. I know a lot of guys there did have a lot of pack practice, so that does get a little quicker. So a lot of my times there were done by myself. So yeah, I don't know. I'll see how it goes. It's a pretty big field tonight, so just have to take it easy and try book a ticket into that final 20 laps.
That's exactly right, mate, and an absolutely great attitude to have. But we'll let you go up into qualifying. We'll put you back up into your racing room at the moment, and we'll go out and cover qualifying. But thanks, Dave, and we wish you all the best. Hopefully we're talking to you at the end of the broadcast.
No worries. Thanks, guys.
All right, guys. So what we'll do now real quickly before we run into qualifying, as we do see guys starting to set their qualifying laps, we're just going to quickly run through the current championship positions as we run into round 5 of the Full Throttle Friday Night Next Gen Series here from Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Currently leading the championship on the top is Daniel Beckinsale on 144 points, Paul. Dean Gurfall there, 133 points. I believe that is tied in second with Jason Holdsworth on 133. Big gap behind to P4, Andy Barber, Dave Oliver, P5 on 114. So there we see second and third and fourth and fifth tied on points there, Paul. So very close championship. Norman Clark there in P6 on 112. And another tie there again with Tristan Koch. And we did see Tristan very, very quick early in practice, Paul. So he's been doing really well in this Next Gen Series.
Yeah, definitely. How good is that at the top there? Everyone's real close, and things are definitely going to heat up tonight. Everyone wanting to get as many championship points as they can.
They will, mate. They will, but especially around Indianapolis, and we know that as well as anyone. It's not like your 2.5 mile or 2 mile ovals, or even though it is a little bit longer, there is a lot more steering input through 1, 2, 3, and 4, the way that these cars react. I know iRacing hasn't done the update yet to be able to make these cars a little bit more realistic, as we do see Ruben Phelps there in the 06 Aussie Esports car making his qualifying lap at the moment. But it's going to be great racing. It's nothing we haven't seen in the Full Throttle Friday Night Next Gen Series here on the IndySim Esports Network. We've had 4 rounds of amazing racing, which sees it so close at the top there, Paul, and there's nothing more than I expect tonight, especially around a track like this, which creates such amazing racing.
Definitely, and there's a few, a couple of new faces on the grid tonight, but not new to oval racing there as well. So we got Mark Johansson joining us on the grid tonight from Saturday night's Weekend Warriors, and Jamie Nankervis as well jumping in for a run tonight. So
and how good is that, Paul? Mark Johansson from Weekend Warriors, Jamie Nankervis, who's doing a lot of admin stuff on the Weekend Warriors side, jumping in here on a Friday night to the Full Throttle Friday Night Next Gen Series. Great to see those guys supporting people that support their leagues as well. So really, really good. But currently at the top, mate, Daniel Beckinsale, the leader of this championship, has just put down the roast lap and gone, no, boys, I'm leading this. I'm leading it from the front. And he goes to P1 with a 51.8. Darren McKenzie not far behind him with a 51.92. Not to be outdone by Ruben Phelps from Aussie Esports with a 51.92, and Ruben just jumps up above Darren McKenzie there with a 51.90. Damon May jumps above Darren McKenzie as well with a 51.91. How close is this at the front, Paul? Justin Witches there with a 52.02. Daniel Smith with a good job, 52 flat, currently in pit lane. Looks like that's his lap done. Sammy K, do not write off Sammy K tonight, Paul. We always talk about Sammy K. I actually I came up with a new name for Sammy K this week, so I might have to pull that out in the broadcast tonight, because he did have a little bit of a joke in our stream last week about how to pronounce his name, even though we were pronouncing it correctly, but he was having a bit of a joke. So I might have to pull out a bit of a joke later, and Sammy will like it. But Sammy K currently up there with a 52.04. Terry Marwood been very strong in these cars this year, or this season rather, Paul, up there in P8 with a 52.05. Michael Budge, P9, 52.07. Demetrius Agathos with a 52.15. I'm sure Demetrius is not going to be happy with that qualifying time, but that's going to bring us to the grid for round 5 of the Full Throttle Friday Night Next Gen Series from Indianapolis Motor Speedway. So, Paul, I'll bring us through the first part of the grid. Off pole, we have Daniel Beckinsale, your current championship leader, on the outside of the front row. My teammate, Aussie Esports, Ruben Phelps off P2. Damon May out of P3. Darren McKenzie, P4. Daniel Smith on the inside of the third row. On the outside of him is Justin Witcher. Sam Katakouzanos out of P7. Terry Marwood, P8. Michael Shaw Michael Budge, out of P9. Demetrius Agathos out of P10. Out of P11 is Ray Zercott, and P12 Adam Malone, Paul.
Now flip over the page, we've got Brad Fenley and Andy Barber on the 7th row, Reese Belitho, Tom Pritchard 8th row, Jason Holdsworth and Tristan Koch in 18, Brett Campbell and Brian Bullock rounding out the top 20, Michael Shaw in 21 with Steve Hoppett alongside in 22, Shannon Blackburn and Norman Clark in P24.
Yeah, and good to see Norman jumping on this again for another run. So inside in 25th, David Misson, Daniel Aguilera Bates in 26th, Jamie Nankervis, who we spoke about earlier, in 27th, alongside Mark Johansson, who we spoke about earlier as well, in 28th, Dave Oliver in 29th, and Graham Ellison 30th.
And that's our grid for tonight. So 30-car field for Indianapolis with Daniel Beckinsale with that Blendline TV sponsored car there for Bin Chicane Racing. So I've been actually seeing quite a bit of Blendline TV stuff popping up on my Facebook feed over the last few weeks actually, and it's been some pretty good stuff watching on there.
Yeah, it is good watching on Blendline TV, so jump along and have a look at them. It is good watching, but I do need to say, Paul, how good does that Aussie Esports car look on the outside of the front row?
Yeah,
how good is that?
It would look even better with an Aotearoa racing car on the front row there, but...
It would, but no doubt if you guys are running, you'd be up there somewhere. But at the moment, we're going to do Aussie Esports, but... yeah, we'll see what happens next season. We might have a bit of a mix-up. Two different teams with some random liveries just to try and stuff some people up. But no, we won't do that. But anyway, we have Daniel Beckinsale bringing us to the pole tonight. Paul, Ruben Phelps on the outside. Damon May, who's been really quick. Damon, with his license class and everything he's been doing, is not probably, if you look license class-wise, up there. But he's a great racer. He's been racing really good. So we all got to start somewhere. So great job by Damon May going up into P3 at the moment. Hopefully he can have a nice solid run. Darren McKenzie's definitely not going to leave anything on the line out of P4. Daniel Smith, P5. Justin Witcher, definitely not going to leave anything on the line either. And then we go back to Sammy Katakouzanos, Terry Marwood, Dimitri Agathos, Michael Budge, Adam Malone, Brad Fenley, Andy J. Barber, Reese Belitho, Tom Pritchard, Jason Holdsworth, Tristan Koch. The list goes on, Paul. We are in for 100 laps of absolute amazing racing here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, mate. It is going to be sensational. So we see the pace car off at the moment. We see Daniel Beckinsale bring us to the green. Ruben Phelps on the outside of the second row. They are being very gentlemanlike, and we're green here for round 5 of the Full Throttle Friday Night Next Gen Series here on the Intersim Esports Network. And we have Daniel Beckinsale with a good jump up the inside. Ruben Phelps keeping him honest on the outside as well. Ruben Phelps is trying to make a move for the lead of this motor race. He's doing that through 1. He's doing that through 2, and he chops down on the inside of Daniel Beckinsale, and the leader of the first lap currently of the Full Throttle Next Gen Series. Oh, as Michael Shaw's got really loose down the back straight, but Ruben Phelps leads us away with a really good jump here for round 5 of the Full Throttle Friday Night Next Gen Series. Oh, my God, brought to you by the Cube Retro Radio. But Ruben Phelps leading the way at the moment. Paul, Daniel Beckinsale's just sat in behind him. He knows that Ruben's quick, so he's probably going to want to work with him as we're about to have an incident behind. Oh, my God, how did we not go yellow there, guys? So Darren McKenzie also. Are we like 16 wide?
Oh, I was just having a bit of a chuckle here. It was 4 wide going down the straight there.
They're definitely sideways trying to get everyone into position. But what this has benefited at the front is Ruben Phelps, Daniel Beckinsale, Darren McKenzie really helped those three guys at the front. Damon May, Daniel Smith, Terry Marwood, Justin Witcher. They're going to want to work together to get this gap back. But at least these guys have sort of settled down a little bit. They are a little bit 2-3 wide in the sort of mid-pack at the moment, but they are going to settle down. So Indianapolis Motor Speedway, round 5 of the Full Throttle Friday Night Next Gen Series here on the IndySim Esports Network. We're only 2 laps through, Paul, and already I'm talking too much, so I'll let you jump in and have a little bit of a chat. It looks like there's a blue car on the inside, and the moment I see that blue car, I think Tristan Koch. So we see Tristan Koch there on the inside in the 550 Ballistic Bruco, so doing a great job there. But Paul, what a start to round 5 of the Full Throttle Friday Night Next Gen Series here on the IndySim Esports Network. We do have a clean set of heels at the front, but the fastest lap of the last race was P4, Damon May, with a 51.77.
Yeah, definitely. How crazy was that start? It was definitely action-packed, and it's great to see. And we got Damon May and Daniel Smith catching up to Ruben Phelps, Daniel Beckinsale, and Darren McKenzie. So they weren't having them get away from them too early at the start there. They've caught back up onto the back of them, so it's good to see.
Yeah, the thing about Indianapolis Motor Speedway, it is definitely tyre wear. It's not. It does have a massive draft impact, but you definitely need to worry about your tyre wear and your mid-corner roll speed. You need to exaggerate your roll speed and keep that mid-corner speed up. And in these next-gen cars, it's a little bit different, I suppose, because with the more aero and everything, they're a lot easier to turn in. So it's a lot easier to drive. But in saying that, when you're in a pack where you've got 2 or 3 wide, as we're seeing now, 2 wide, you need to have your wits about you. And we're only 4 laps into 100, so there's a long way to go. And I have a feeling this might feel like a super speedway race as we come onto the back end of this race. But we are now 5 laps into 100, starting the 5th lap. Ruben Phelps comes across the strike in P1. Daniel Beckinsale, P2. He's just been sitting there in behind Ruben so far after the first couple of laps, just sitting there biding his time. Darren McKenzie doing the same thing as well in P3. Terry Marwood, great job, up 4 spots on his starting position. So he started out of P8. He's up into P4 at the moment, just sitting there having a little bit of a watch. That looks like Damon May in behind Terry Marwood at the moment as well, just to mix us up with that Monster Energy, because Adam Malone's usually Monster Energy. It is, and Adam Malone has moved backwards a little bit at the moment. But Ruben Phelps still leading the way, but Ruben Phelps has just actually given up the lead there to Daniel Beckinsale, Paul. And Ruben's pushing Daniel, but now Ruben's like, nah, I need to lead this from the front. So Ruben makes the move to the front under the inside of Daniel Beckinsale. Darren McKenzie on the outside line. He got let a little bit out to dry there by Terry Marwood. So Terry Marwood now takes P3 of this race. Darren McKenzie will just tuck up right behind him at the moment. Justin Witcher also tucking up in behind Darren McKenzie, Damon May, Adam Malone. Terry Marwood does not want to be behind this field. Terry Marwood now makes the big move in the 10 car into P2, right behind Ruben Phelps. So Terry Marwood now moves up into P2, Paul. Darren McKenzie's moved down a little bit. Ruben Phelps showing a clean set of heels at the front, but Terry Marwood now up 6 positions on his starting position. He was not happy to sit back there. He wants to fight for the lead of this motor race.
Yeah, I secretly just spotted Terry coming through from the back there slowly, and he'd taken up to sort of P4, P3, and made his move there into P2. So he's definitely got some fast runners under that car, and wants to get up there at the front. So I believe, looking at that gap, it's only going to be a matter of a couple of corners, and I think he'll be having to go at Ruben here for the lead.
Yeah, well, it's funny you say that. And as they go through 3 and 4 now, we do have Ruben up in the box. And you did say any time, mate. We're only 7 laps into the race. Terry Marwood currently a good start to the race there, Ruben. He's up 7-8 spots and trying to fight you. But how's your race panning out so far?
Yeah, it's going pretty good. I'm not letting this lead up anytime soon. I gave Daniel a good, nice bump, and he looked like he got squiggly and let me go, and he lost 5 spots, so kind of costed him a wee bit. But no, I feel really comfortable right now.
And Terry Marwood, he's made about 6 spots up on his starting position. He moved up on the back of you really quick. I know Darren McKenzie was fighting you earlier in the race as well. He's moved back a little bit. Anyone that you've got an eye out for at the moment, or are you just trying to do as most consistent laps as you can as we're about to go under caution?
I'm definitely just going to watch Darren and Daniel from time, because they're definitely going to be the people to watch and race, or any of the bin chicken guys. But yeah, no, Terry Marwood's done really good to move up from 6th to 2nd or wherever he started to. But no, the races at the moment, of course, I'm the pioneer of this, so everybody's just going to follow what I'm doing. So I would definitely, they're looking after their stuff, where I might be burning my stuff up. But other than that, I'm happy leading, and it'll be interesting what I decide to do here. But I think most people might do the same thing as me here.
And I must say a big shout out to your livery, mate. Big shout out to the livery. Aussie Esports. Who designed that one?
Myself, Ruben.
Phelps. Ruben Phelps designed Aussie Esports. So good looking car there, mate. Good to see it at the front. But Terry Marwood, Witcher, Mackenzie, Beckinsale, May, Smith, all the likes will definitely be up there behind you, ready to pounce. But we'll just go back to the replay at the moment. 0 and 5, that looks like Tristan Koch. No, it's not. 0-1-5 is Brett Campbell. Oh, 0-1-5 and the 34. 34, Daniel Aguilera Bates into the inside of the 0-1-5 of Brett Campbell.
Oh, no.
Wow. Yeah, Ruben, that's oh no. And you are still in the broadcast booth, but yes, oh no. Yeah, that is left for the stewards, I'd like to say. But Ruben, we'll let you go through pit lane, do everything. We'll jump you back up to where you want to be. Thank you for making yourself available. We'll talk to you later on the broadcast.
Cheers, guys.
So with that, Ruben comes into pit, but Terry stayed out. Daniel Beckinsale stayed out, along with Damon May, Daniel Smith, Reese Belitho, Shannon Blackburn, Brian Bullock, Norman Clark, David Misson, and Steve Hoppett. So we now have top 10 cars that have, well, I can't say top 10, but our current top 10 have all stayed out. So there's big movers there from the back coming up to the front now by not pitting.
Yeah, well, we'll go on and see whether we can bring something to you. Just bear with us, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to bring something to you here. We're going to get a little bit of another insight, because we are under green. We're only 10 of 100. Under yellow, sorry. Only 10 of 100. So let's try and do something different here. Norman Clark and Tristan Koch, have we got a copy?
Yeah, you have indeed.
Gentlemen, we just wanted to throw you under the bus a little bit and bring you up into the broadcast booth. We are under yellow.
Right.
Norman, mate, nice solid start. Haven't pitted through that caution, so couple of places as well. What else are we looking for? Tristan, mate, very fast in practice, not probably the qualifying result you want. How's both your races going so far tonight?
Well,
I'll start first, Norman. Sorry.
Okay.
I got a bit of a tap from one of the cars coming out of second, and so I went in for fuel and just to see how badly damaged it was, and there was nothing wrong at all, and she's all good. So let's see how he goes.
Yeah, and then I was going to go in for fuel, but then I saw so many went in, I thought I'll stay out and try and get some track position, because in that first short run, I tried to pass a few guys, but it was almost impossible. So what easier way to make up some places?
Well, it's a wise head on some young shoulders there, Norman Clark. Some wise head and some young shoulders. always make those passes through pit lane, mate. You don't need to make them on track. So you've been super quick tonight too, though, Norman. You've been quick in everything you've touched lately. You've been really quick. You went well last night in NASCAR as well, which unfortunately I didn't get to qualify into. So that just goes to show how good you are. But mate, good job last night. Nice, solid result. You're here again. You've been doing a lot of stuff and having another solid showing. I know we're only 11 laps into 100, but you'd much rather be here than in 24th position.
Yeah, no, that's definite. That's for sure. Yeah, no, good one, man.
All right, well, we'll let you guys go back up and get ready to go green here for the Full Throttle Friday Night Next Gen Series here, round 5 from Indianapolis Motor Speedway, the Brickyard as we call it, and we'll put you back up into your channel. So Paul, I'll let you call them to green, but they're not going to go green this time around. It is, oh, they are going green, so I'll let you call them green.
No worries. So Terry Marwood coming up to take the start of the green flag here as we're about to get that waved, and they are off. So Terry Marwood, Daniel Beckinsale on the front row for the restart here, followed by Damon May and Daniel Smith. And Terry Marwood having a cracker start there, and Daniel just slotting into 3rd spot there off that restart. So good start there.
Yeah, Daniel Smith doing a great job there in P3 as well. Damon May, P4. So nice, solid start there. I just need to open this up to be able to see. So Terry Marwood leading off the front there. As you said, Paul, Daniel Beckinsale, great job as well. He's only down 1, so he's off pole. He's currently still in P2. Look at this battle in the mid-pack, Paul. We're 2, nearly 3 wide. They are definitely fighting hard here in the mid-pack. Misson, Witcher, McKenzie, Phelps, Malone, Barber, Pritchard, Agathos. We are 2-3 wide at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. 13 laps, 100. Ruben Phelps up the inside here. Looks like Darren McKenzie's pushing him up the inside. Probably wrong car. Darren McKenzie's actually on the outside. So Ruben Phelps pushing really hard on the inside. Adam Malone, I saw Adam Malone there on the inside as well, Paul. So I'm just trying to commentate based on the car liveries. Adam Malone doing a great job up the back there, trying to make that run up there as well. So Norman Clark, oh, big move by Ruben Phelps from Aussie Esports. Down, sorry guys, down the back straight into turn 3 and 4. Sorry, I was getting a little bit excited there, Paul. You can laugh at me all you want, even though everyone cannot hear you laugh. But Ruben Phelps is doing a great job at the moment up there in P11. But Terry Marwood is actually someone doing a great job at the moment. We're 14 laps into 100. Let's hope we can get 30 or 40 laps of green racing to see how these guys actually manage their tyres. So the car 10 at the moment, Terry Marwood, after starting at a P8, is leading the race. And we've gone caution again. So we'll have to go back and have a look at what brought that caution out. But it's a little bit interesting, Paul. 14 laps into 100 around Indianapolis Motor Speedway to already have 2 cautions. That's really interesting. So I think a little bit of this so far has been people, and it's happened in previous races, people not realizing that it's such a long race and trying to win it so quickly. I could be completely out of line, but to have cautions, 2 cautions 14 laps in is definitely, at least on a brighter note, everyone wants to win it. So it's going to be a great race, but we hope all these guys stay on the lead lap. Currently, Terry Marwood is leading the race. Daniel Beckinsale in 2nd, Daniel Smith 3rd, Damon May 4th, Shannon Blackburn 5th, Reese Belitho in 6th, Paul.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, 2 cautions in 14 laps, so we've seen some big moves for some passes there, a lot of swerving out from behind cars, using that draft to get right up behind them and a big swerve out. So a few guys there taking maybe some unnecessary risks early in the early laps of this race, which they don't need to. But as Norman Clark had mentioned, if he was finding it a little bit hard to pass, so maybe that's what they're having to do to actually use that draft, get right onto the back of them, and then go for those big swerves out to get past. But we'll just go back to that replay anyway, and we'll catch what brought that caution out.
Oh, Ruben Phelps. It was at the front of the field. We did not even see that, Paul. Wow. That was not what we were expecting. Good job keeping off the wall by Ruben, but the 66 car there of Demetrius Agathos had a hard lick into the outside wall there, Paul. That looks like Andy Barber too in the Coca-Cola car. His cars looked like a crumpled sardine can, as it has for the last 3 or 4 races he's had. So not a good job there from Andy Barber. Not a good job, but not good luck rather. So that's not going to be good. But yeah, that was not where we expected the caution to come out. It was obviously we were focusing on the back, and it happened at the front.
Yeah, that was a little bit unexpected, but hopefully Ruben will be able to get that car fixed. I do believe they have one fast repair, so a few of those guys should be able to get those cars back on track, and then hopefully they can just stay out of trouble. This time around it looks like Terry Marwood's actually taken his pit stop, and Daniel Beckinsale has taken back the lead of this race as he'd led 1 lap earlier from Ruben. So he's jumped himself back into the front of this race with Daniel Smith and Damon May right behind him. A couple of teammates there as well.
Yeah, he has, mate. And I just brought someone up in the booth, and I hope you don't mind that. Darren McKenzie, you got a copy?
I sure do. How you going?
Yeah, good, Dazza. Mate, interesting start of this race at Indianapolis. Not what we expected. Third caution, 16 laps into 100. How's your race panning out? Down 4 spots on your 4th starting position, but I'm sure you're not too worried about that. You were fighting hard for the lead earlier with Ruben and Daniel, but you sort of dropped back a little bit. How's your race panning out so far?
Yeah, with the cautions, it sort of took a bit of fuel. Hopefully save a bit of time in the next stop if it's green. But yeah, it's just patience at the moment. Save those tyres.
Do you think tyres going to be a big strategy tonight? Because I know these next-gen cars, they drive 100% differently as we used to with the Cup cars. So do you think tyres going to be a massive thing? I know the answer to this around Indianapolis with the next-gen, but do you think it's going to be more prevalent than what it is in the Cup car? Or do you think the aero is going to be a bigger thing because you don't have the aero on the back? So it's going to really try and tighten up that front. How are you going to manage this race moving into, we're only about to go 20 laps into 100, so a fifth of the way in?
Yeah, tyre wear's not too bad, but I think if there's a lot of pack racing as there has been, heat build up, and as you said, the aero is going to play a big part.
So give us a little bit of an insight, mate, as you're about to go green. What's your strategy so we can focus on you for the race as well as you go up into P7? So what's your strategy? Try stay out of the aero, try and create your own race line and try and create your own draft, or what's your strategy as you're about to go green?
Just try not to get caught on that outside line again.
All right, mate, we'll let you go green. All right, thank you so much, Darren. Go green. We'll put you back up into your thing, but we're going green, Paul. We'll let you pull it to the green.
No worries, and they're away. So Daniel Beckinsale taking us to the green flag, and he is off. Daniel Smith in P2. David May slots in P3. Shannon Blackburn in P4, Brian Bullock in P5. So that's how our race has started. Everyone sort of just holding on to their positions, dropping into a single file for the restart. But I might just have to have a little bit of a shout out here to Shannon Blackburn. So whoever's done his paint livery on his car, he might need to get that one checked. I'd say the template's been upside down when they've saved it, because it doesn't look right on his car.
Is it the 02 or the 20?
Well,
if it's a 02, it's Darren McKenzie. But
no, car 20, but the livery's got 22, which is his number as well. Not too sure, because you see those brown bits. It's like the livery when they've created it, they've rotated it, and then they haven't rotated it back when they've saved it. So something not right there.
yeah, but Ruben Phelps from starting really good early, but Daniel Beckinsale, leader of this championship, absolutely off the front at the moment, Paul, 0.393837, so the second position is moving up on him. Daniel Smith, that is, rather. Damon May in second spot, Brian Bullock in third, Darren McKenzie, who we just spoke to in P5, Shannon Blackburn in P6, Norman Clark, who we spoke to earlier as well, in P7. So everyone doing a great job, Paul. Daniel Beckinsale, though, something about Daniel Beckinsale and these next-gen cars. We're round 5. He's leading the championship, not by much, but he's leading the championship, and he's come in here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, which we got to admit, it's not the easiest racetrack, and we're going yellow again. 20 laps into 100.
20 laps, 3 cautions now. So
that's 4. I think that's 4. But anyway, 3 or 4.
Yeah.
3 or 4.
Yeah, it's not good. So we need to see some green racing here. Everyone just needs to settle in a bit. But,
we'll go back and have a look at that one, Paulie, and see what happened. So the 21 car up on the inside. Oh, the 59 there. Brad Fenley into the 34 of Daniel Aguilera Bates. So Daniel up into the wall again. We have no opinion here as commentators, but that is how the caution came out. So we had the 34 trying to make the run down on the inside of Daniel Aguilera Bates. They made a little bit of contact on the inside rear quarter panel and sent them up into the wall. So that's what brings us out in caution again for the third time of the Full Throttle Friday Night Next Gen Series here on the IndySim Esports Network. But Paul, we're under caution at the moment. We're not going to go up and talk to anyone. Let's have a talk about what we have coming to you on Sunday night. So here at the IndySim Esports Network, of course, we'll bring you all the action here on the Full Throttle Friday Night Next Gen Series here on a Friday night. But then we go Sunday night racing and we go to the Australasian Supercar E-Series, which we bring to you here on the IndySim Esports Network as well. And we go there again on Sunday night, and looking forward to that one, Paul. But we're currently here on the Full Throttle Friday Night Next Gen Series, and we're only 21 into 100. We always joke about how quick these races go, and tonight hasn't done that, but excited to bring all this action to all the viewers.
Yeah, definitely. So a few cars making their way through pit lane once again. Daniel Beckinsale, Daniel Smith, Damon May once again choosing to stay out at the front of this pack. So these cautions will definitely be helping them save a bit of fuel. We had calculated roughly you could get about 26, 27 laps to a tank, which was under green flag racing. Possibly could have saved a little bit more in the draft as well, so maybe push that out to 28, 29 laps if you were lucky. But yeah, under caution they'll be saving a fair bit as they go around. So Why don't we have a look? When did everyone last pit there, Aiden? So we can try and calculate here.
Yeah, so the first man that has pitted is currently in P7, so that's Mark Johansson. So he has been down pit lane on lap 9. Everyone else in front of him has not been down pit lane yet. David Misson in behind him in 18. So Mark Johansson, we need to have a big shout out to him now. So he's 21 spots up on his starting position. So he started out at P28. He's currently in P7. And he's been down pit lane. And everyone else in front of him haven't yet. His car looks pretty clean at the moment. The 00 car, SimShed Broadcasting car there, looks pretty good. So Mark Johansson, behind him, Adam Malone, Monster Energy car. I just know Adam Malone with the Monster Energy. If he's not running that tonight, I do apologise. But Adam Malone, he came down in lap 9 as well. So he's been through pit lane once. But the ones to look out for, here are the ones to look out for. Out of P10, Terry Marwood down pit lane once, lap 15. Reece Belitho down pit lane once, lap 15. Darren McKenzie down pit lane twice, last lap 21. Phelpsy's been down pit lanes 3 times, last lap 21. Witcher 21. Katakouzanos 21. Dimitri Agathos 21. So these guys, Daniel Beckinsale, Daniel Smith, Damon May, Brian Bullock, Shannon Blackburn, and even Norman Clark, they are definitely opening themselves up to be run down here as we're about to go green, Paul. But massive shout out to everyone, the Cube Radio, Brickyard 250, 100 laps on the Full Throttle Sim Racing League's Friday Night Next Gen Cup Series, brought to you here on the IndySim Esports Network, mate. A lot to play out now when I answered who's been through pit lane. So really exciting to see how this plays out. But Daniel Beckinsale will bring us to the green flag. Daniel Smith will be on the outside row. Daniel May inside on the second row. Brian Bullock on the outside of the second row. Shannon Blackburn will be bringing up P5. Norman Clark on the outside of the third row. And P6, Mark Johansson, P7. David Misson, 8. Adam Malone, 9. Terry Marwood, 10. Belitho, 11. Mackenzie, 12. Phelps, 13. Katakouzanos, 14. Witcher and Agathos, 15 and 16. And we're about to go green here for round 5 of the Full Throttle Sim Racing Series for the 4th or 5th time tonight, as we see Daniel Beckinsale bring us to the green in the 19 car. We have on the outside the 313 of Daniel Smith. The pace car will move away. When he moves away, it will be in the starter's orders, and it is in Daniel Beckinsale's hand. And Daniel Beckinsale, and we are green for the 4th or 5th time here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Daniel Beckinsale leads us into turn 1. Looks like Daniel Smith has followed him up the inside, and he's going to take us into P2 at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Daniel Smith, that's Damon May jumping up into P2. Daniel Smith dropping in behind into P3. Brian Bullock, P4. Norman Clark up to P5. Paul Jackson, we're finally going racing again, but we're about 2 or 3 wide, so let's not get too excited. But Norman Clark, we definitely need to look out for him tonight. He's been doing a great job.
Yeah, definitely. And it seems to be a case of a few of these faster guys here in the middle pack here wanting to run 2 and 3 wide, as we see Sam Catton there right on the back of Ruben Phelps there, and Demetrius Agathos in there in the background, looking to try and get a run on the back of Sam as well on the inside of Justin Witcher.
Yeah, I think they just need to play it a little bit safe for the moment. They're only a quarter way into 100, so just play it a little bit safe. There's a little bit of tyre strategy going on at the front, fuel strategy. More so fuel around here, let alone tyre. So the shorter you need to be sitting stationary through pit lane around here will be the better. But as we see there, they're definitely wanting to go and race 2 or 3 wide through the mid-pack. There is a definite difference on strategy here. So we're seeing what happens. Ruben Phelps needs to be very, very careful because of those fast repairs. So Ruben Phelps making his way up on the inside there as you see the 06 of the Aussie Esports as we go down the front stretch of Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Adam Malone not giving Ruben Phelps anything on the outside. He goes, no, and I'm going to chop your nose off while I'm at it. You can follow me, Ruben. So Adam Malone leads the way at the moment, and Adam Malone's trying to get a big run on the back of Shannon Blackburn as he goes around. Ruben Phelps is right in his tracks, and he is following the number 4 Adam Malone in the Monster Energy car. Paul, I don't know where to call. I'm getting that excited. I know the first 4 guys, Daniel Beckinsale. Oh, we have another caution by the looks of it.
How you doing in there, kid?
Oh, there's cars going everywhere. I can't keep up with this.
Yeah, all right. We need to let it sit down. We've had another caution.
Yeah, but once again at that middle pack. So everyone wanted to be racy in that middle pack, and as we go back to what Norman said, once again finding it hard to pass. So all those fast guys getting stuck there together, they can't get around each other, and I think that's what's bringing out all these cautions. So
yeah, I think what's bringing it out is they're not learning to race. Like, they're trying to pass each other all the time. Just settle down a little bit and try and get that race. But it's okay from us as commentators to try and give that comment because we don't really know, do we? We're just guessing. But let's see what happened with this incident. So it looks like there's a car on the outside there of the 00 there of Mark Johansson. Looks like he'd already got up in the wall and being collected. The 008 car there, Reese Belitho, is involved in that one as well. Looks like Darren McKenzie has got through that one. The 10 of Terry Marwood, I believe, is involved in that one as well. So, the 21 of Justin Witcher up into the wall. That's going to be really bad. And different livery for Justin tonight as well. But the 6 car there of Tom Pritchard doing a good job to get through there. But they're going to go down pit lane at the moment and get all that sorted. But I don't know what this race is going to bring at the moment, Paul, because we're now 4-5 cautions in and we're only 28 into 100.
well, this is a very big risk from Norman Clark here, choosing to stay out once again. So everyone else that hadn't done a stop is now stopped, and Norman Clark's choosing to stay out. So we knew we could get about 26-27 laps to a tank, but with these cautions, that can obviously extend that. So how much more does Norman actually have in the tank?
Will be definitely interesting to find out, but I brought someone else in the booth, Paul. Mark Johansson. Mark, you're facing the wrong way there under caution. Not the way you wanted your night to start. We've had 5 or 6 cautions, only 28 laps into 100. Not the way you wanted to start your Friday night, no doubt.
No, mate, no. Just one of those things. The guy stuck his nose up the inside, and just one of those things. He tagged the back of me, and that sent me around. So that's not over, I guess.
Never night over, mate. Keep circulating the way that the cautions are gone tonight. You never know the way that it's going to go. But tomorrow night's your league, mate. The Weekend Warriors League, Saturday night. Looking forward to that one. Can't wait to see you part of that one. You're going to be racing tonight, tomorrow night, or are you going to be in the broadcast?
I'll probably do like what I've done and do a bit of broadcasting from the car. But yeah, it's Richmond tomorrow night, and a tough little track. So yeah, we'll wait and see what happens there.
No worries, mate. Well, hopefully you can hop back on. Paul, anything you have a chat to Mark about before we let him go?
Well, Mark likes to nickname you, Aiden, as Crash, but I'm sure you can take that one back to him.
He hasn't beaten me yet, apart from once. But anyway,
Look, I'll take the name Crash Bandicoot tonight.
I'll take Crash. You take Bandicoot.
Yeah, and before I go, I'd just like to thank Steve and Michael for organising this race, and yeah, thanks for putting it on, guys.
It's
No worries, mate.
good to see you here on the Friday night in the Next Gen Cars. So haven't seen you here yet. So yeah, it was good to see you pop up on the track.
Mate, I'm going to try and make every Friday night from now on if I can. Just well, you know the work that goes in behind the scenes in a league. We're just trying to organise stuff for next season. So hopefully I can make a few more Friday nights.
Well, mate, we'll let you go back up to your channel. Let us know what channel you want to go back up to, because I can see several. But I'll put you back up into there anyway as we're about to go green.
All right, mate. Thanks. Have a good call, guys.
Thanks, Mark. And this time around, Norman Clark will be our race leader. So Norman's still yet to pit, but he'll be bringing us to green. Adam Malone on the outside in P2. Ruben Phelps has found his way back up to the front there in P3. Demetrius Agathos up into P4, and Darren McKenzie sitting in P5 there for the restart.
Yeah, it will be. What's going to be really interesting here, Paul, on pit lane? So Adam Malone's going to be a little bit of a sitting duck, as well as Norman Clark. So we'll see Norman Clark bring us to the green once again here for the Full Throttle Friday Night Next Gen Series, brought to you by the Cube Radio here on the IndySim Esports Network. So Norman Clark's had a great jump. But if we just let them settle down at the moment, Adam Malone doing a great job. Adam Malone is better on tyres as opposed to Norman Clark at the moment. So don't be surprised to see Adam Malone move up there as well. Ruben Phelps is definitely better on tyres. So Ruben Phelps might take the lead of this motor race early. But if we look back, I reckon someone that is going to, and as we watch Ruben Phelps make his way through into P2, and he won't be far off making that position to P1 from Norman Clark. I think there is 2 or 3 drivers we need to look out for if this goes green for a long period of time. And Paul, you need to listen to this, because Damon May, Daniel Smith, Sam Katakazunos, Brian Bullock and Michael Shaw, even Justin Witcher and Tristan Koch and Jason Holdsworth. So look out for these guys. They have been in pit lane the latest time, so they have better tyre strategy. But Norman Clark's still doing a great job in front of Ruben at the moment. Ruben doesn't need to be using Norman. If he could see what we see at the moment, he doesn't need those back guys to draft up onto him. And as we see that, Ruben Phelps now takes the lead of the Cube Radio Brickyard 250 here from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. So Ruben Phelps does take the lead. So Ruben's doing a great job, but Damon May, Daniel Smith, Sam Katakazunos, Brian Bullock, Michael Shaw, I'm really interested to see how these guys go if we keep going green for the next 10, 15 laps.
Yeah, that'll be one to watch, but I'm still curious on how Norman hasn't needed to pit yet. So unless our intel was wrong on that fuel load, but
well, I don't think our intel's wrong, unless our live timing is wrong. But what it's showing is he's not been down pit lane yet. So interesting from Norman to do that, because if he's got to do that on the green, that's going to be really, really terrible for Norman. So Ruben Phelps doing a great job out there at the front at the moment, as we can see in the 06 Aussie Esports Toyota Camry. Go the Camry in the Aussie Esports. There we go, Paul, a little bit of self-promotion. So Ruben Phelps up into P1, Adam Malone P2, Norman Clark P3, Demetrius Agathos P4, Sam Katakazunos, Darren McKenzie. Darren McKenzie's actually just been passed by Michael Budge there into P6. So Michael Budge showing a clean set of heels on the inside there of Darren McKenzie. So Darren seems to be struggling only 3 or 4 laps into this stint, although if we have a look at Darren McKenzie, he's actually been down pit lane twice. But Demetrius Agathos, Sam Katakouzanos, and Michael Budge have been down pit lane 4 times. So could they make it any harder for me to call? Katakouzanos, Agathos, McKenzie, Budge. Like, they're making it hard for me to call, Paul.
Well, Katakouzanos and Agathos, it should just roll off the tongue. Pretty simple there.
Well, I've been speaking about it for 6 months, so it should do, shouldn't it? It shouldn't. But it should be. I could say so many things, but Ruben Phelps has actually had a massive jump on the field at the moment. He has got a massive gap on Norman Clark, and he's nearly dropped that. He's 1.02 seconds in front, so he's nearly dropped that stream as it looks like we're going to go yellow again as we got a car on the inside. The 21 car there of Justin Witcher again. Very unfortunate for Justin there. As we go back and look at the broadcast. So we'll watch Justin Witcher, who we got in beside him in the pink car. Oh. It looks like 2 cars trying to occupy the same place, a racetrack there, Paul.
Yeah, quite possibly, but that hasn't actually brought out a caution, so that's a bit unfortunate there for Justin. So he's found his way back onto the track and kept going.
I thought we went at a caution there. I'm sorry, Paul. But Ruben Phelps currently now 1.25 seconds up in front of the rest of the field. So Ruben's doing a great job at the front of the moment. Norman Clark's into the pit. Let's go up and let's get a bit of an insight into what's happening at the front here, if we can. Ruben Phelps, you got a copy, mate?
Sure do, Aiden. How's it?
Yeah, good, mate. P1, 1.63 up in front of Demetrius at the moment. You've got out of that draft a lot of cautions early. I'm sure you're loving having a bit of green flag racing at the moment.
Oh, definitely. I got a bit caught up in some drama, but other than that, no, the car's running good. I have not, here's people, I have not changed my tyres yet. So they better catch me if they want to get into anywhere.
Well, you used your fast repair earlier, obviously, because you did get in a bad incident. So you had the risk there earlier on the restart where I even said that on the broadcast. Oh, you don't want to get into that incident because I knew you would have used your fast repair. But now we're 37 into 100, nearly 40. So let's just say we're 60 from the end. You got 60 to go to the end with no incidents.
Yeah, no, there's definitely going to be a hard ask now trying to make sure I don't get in contact with anybody else since I have used that fast repair. But at the moment, let's hope this race stays green. There should be a chance that this race can go green once it's all spread out. So it'll be interesting what the strategy holds to the end of this race now.
Yeah, well, we can see a lot of strategies on our end, Paul. We're not going to leave that to Ruben and let him know that. But, Paul, anything you want to say to Ruben? He makes himself available here on the InterSim Esports Network on a Friday night for the Full Throttle Next Gen Series, mate. Leader of the race, Ruben Phelps, Paul Jackson. And let him go.
I think we might need to let him go because he's got 3 cars coming up quickly on him now. They're starting to close that gap behind him. So might need to let Ruben concentrate on that because he could be in the mix of things in a lap or two.
I'm going to make your name a visible thing, Paul.
No, we don't need to do that, Ruben. We need to keep you on the broadcast so we can actually bring content. Yeah. So now you're about to race 3-4 wide. No, we would not do that to you, mate. We would not do that to you. But anyway, we'll let you go back up and concentrate and hopefully talk to you at the end, mate. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
All right, so we've got Demetrius Agathos in second, followed by Sam Katakouzanos and Darren McKenzie quickly coming for that P1 spot of Ruben Phelps. So they've closed the gap now. As Ruben had mentioned, he hasn't taken tyres yet. So I know around here, I've in the Cup car actually, I've had a great run where I've taken tyres early, been almost a whole lap in front of P2, and I've had that gap close and lost the race. So in the Cup car tyres, definitely a huge thing of when to take them, but it doesn't look too bad for Ruben at this stage.
Yeah, Ruben's doing a great job. 0.45 in front of Demetrius Agathos at the moment. Sammy K. But these are the guys that pitted. Demetrius Agathos pitted on the same lap as Ruben Phelps. Sam K. He's got probably 6 laps better tyres at the moment. So Sam K is in a great spot at the moment, as is Damon May and Daniel Smith. So as these guys go through pit lane, it'll be interesting to see, because I actually think the one we need to look out for, and I'm going to make my call right now, Paul. We're 40 laps into 100 of the Full Throttle Friday Night Next Gen series here on the IndySim Esports Network. I'm going to make my call. We always do that here on the IndySim Esports Network. We're going to pick your winner, and we've done it different. We're doing it 40 laps into 100. My winner is going to be Sam Katakouzanos.
I thought you was going to say your woman for a second.
My woman.
So your
she knows who she is, so that's a.
Your pick for the night for the race win is Sam Katakouzanos. Okay.
Yep.
I'll get back to you on that one.
No, you can't do that. You need to do it right now. We don't have that. IndySim Esports Network does not have a pause hold, so you need to go it. I just threw you under the bus.
Well, last week I went for that pick of Daniel Smith, and he pitted same time as Sam Katakouzanos as well. So I might have to throw him out there again this week, see if he can catch up. They have fallen off the pack a little bit, but high hopes, and we'll see if I can make him work this week for a pick.
Well, hopefully he does, mate. But we see at the moment a massive battle for the front of this motor race. Ruben Phelps, Demetrius Agathos, side by side. Sam Katakouzanos, Darren McKenzie. I want to be part of this party. Thank you very much. As he drops right up in behind Sam Katakouzanos, Demetrius Agathos making a run down the inside here of Ruben Phelps. There's too many Osses and Phelpses and Zuzanas and too many things going off at the moment. But Ruben Phelps doing a great job in the 06 Aussie esports car at the front of this motor race. Demetrius Agathos, Sam Katakouzanos, Darren McKenzie, Damon May, Daniel Smith, Jamie Nankervis. Oh, Paul, help me. We're 42 into 100. Oh, my God. Are we going to need a colliery machine before we get to 100?
Don't know. Plain and simple, don't know. But that was a great little battle there for a couple of turns there, as Ruben managed to maintain that lead and get a little bit of breathing space once again. But it's not over yet. They're quickly coming back again to have another crack, as Demetrius is popping out for turn 2 here on Ruben Phelps.
Yeah, and Demetrius has been doing a great job in the oval stuff lately. He'd probably be the first to say he hasn't done a lot of oval stuff. He's only done it lately. He's won some truck stuff. He's won some other stuff, had a lot of bad luck and other stuff, as we all do. But Demetrius showing a clean set of heels, up 9 spots on his starting position at the moment out of P10. Ruben Phelps only down 1. He started off out of P2. He is now up into P1 again. Sam Katakouzanos up 4 spots. Demetrius Agathos up 4. Jamie Nankervis, we drop back to P7. He's up 20 spots on his starting position. He last pitted on lap 27, so he's actually looking a lot better than Ruben at the moment. Yeah, everyone with their strategy at the moment, 44 into 100, looking good. But if we look at people that are looking really good, these are people we need to look out for if we do go green to the end. Sam Katakouzanos has this in the bag if it goes to the end. Damon May, Jamie Nankervis, Brian Bullock, Shannon Blackburn, Tristan Koch, Michael Shaw. Look out for those. But we're 44 into 100. Ruben Phelps leads the way. Sam Katakuzanos at the moment in P2. But Paul, let's just jump on for 5 minutes with one of the drivers so we can walk away and let it transition through the mid of this race. So let's jump on at the moment with the car you're on, and let's do a couple of Indianapolis Motor Speedway. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're there on board. So we will go and we'll have a little bit of a hiatus for a couple of minutes, and we'll be back here on the Anderson Esports Network for the Full Throttle Friday Night Next Gen Series, brought to you here by the Cube Retro Radio, rather. And we'll be back in a couple of minutes here for round 5 of the Full Throttle Friday Night Next Gen Series here from Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Hang on. I can't talk. Have you muted me? Alright, so we'll keep going around. I'm going to walk away for another couple of minutes. I just need to do that, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back here for the Indocim Esports Network as we are 47 into 100. We'll be back shortly. And sorry, Paul, mate, I am back. I just needed to go and get a little bit of a breather. But Ruben Phelps still leads the way here of the Full Throttle Friday Night Next Gen Series here from Indianapolis Motor Speedway. But Darren McKenzie is now making him honest at the moment and really showing the back of that 02 car to the 06 car, Ruben Phelps. Sam Katakuzanos sitting in there with a watching brief in P3 in the 968 car. It looks like Ruben Phelps has now blinked into pit lane. Oh, no, Sam Katakuzanos has missed pit lane. No, that is race over for Sam Katakuzanos. So he has missed pit lane, so that's not good for him. He's going to be waiting on a late caution for this one, Paul.
Well, the commentator's curse has struck once again, I think, Aiden. You said Sammy K had it in the bag, and I think he's just been hit by that bag as he missed pit lane there. So Ruben Phelps dove to the pits. Sammy K kind of hesitated. He went in there and he didn't, and then he looked like he was going to fake and keep going, but I don't know, I was a bit reluctant or couldn't decide, and then it was too late. He missed that yellow cone and thought about not getting the penalty, obviously cutting into pit lane, so was forced to keep going there. So Darren McKenzie's resumed as the race leader here.
And Darren McKenzie and Demetrius Agathos are showing clean set of heels at the front here at the moment. They're going to want to work together because Ruben has pitted earlier, so he's going to have fresher tyres. So he is going to do quicker laps, but it depends whether he does have a draft. You can see at the moment Jamie Nankervis, who is up 24 spots on his starting position in P3, currently 9.4 seconds behind the race lead. So you can see how much it is when you don't have a draft. And you can see Jamie Nankervis at the moment dropping and hemorrhaging time, big time, on these leaders at the moment. So we can see Ruben Phelps at the moment is in P17. Sam Katakuznos is now coming out of pit lane. He's lost a lot of time on Ruben Phelps. So Ruben's currently the first driver to pit. His last time through pit lane was lap 49, as we see Sam Katakuznos at the moment exiting pit lane. So Ruben Phelps is actually the incumbent leader of this race up. He's minus 15 spots at the moment. He started out at P2, but this is going to definitely shake out. Darren McKenzie and Demetrius Agathos at the front of this motor race will be pitting pretty shortly. They are the only drivers at the moment at the front. They have run the longest on this fuel strategy at the moment. So they will be pitting shortly. Jamie Nankervis will go a little bit longer, as will Daniel Smith, Damon May, Tristan Koch, Brian Bullock and Shannon Blackburn. So it looks like Darren McKenzie and Demetrius Agathos are in pit lane at the moment for the Full Throttle Friday Night Next Gen Series. This is the last time they are coming through pit lane, ladies and gentlemen. Let's keep an eye out for Ruben Phelps and see where he ends up in the 06 Aussie Esports car. We have Jamie Nankervis currently into the lead of this motor race. Daniel Smith, Shannon Blackburn, Brian Bullock, Michael Shaw, Andy Barber, Dave Oliver. We also need to look out for a couple of other drivers, but if we look at it at the moment, let's just let it play out as they all go through pit lane. So out is Darren McKenzie. Out is Demetrius Agathos. Out is Michael Budge. It looks like Ruben Phelps has taken the gap on Darren McKenzie and Demetrius Agathos, but they have run an extra 3 laps. So, looks like we were nearly about to get a caution again, but it goes green, and currently sitting in the position at the moment to take the lead of this motor race as they come into pit lane is Ruben Phelps. But we will jump up, and let's jump up with Ruben at the moment there, Paul, and let's have a chat to him about his fuel position and see how he is into the back end of this race. Ruben Phelps, you got a copy, mate?
Sure do.
Mate, yeah, good, mate. P11, pitted a couple laps earlier than Darren McKenzie, Demetrius Agathos. Definitely had a really quick car tonight and still do. Are you good to go green to the end?
I am good. There's still one more pit stop, so I've decided to pit dead on lap 50 because you can obviously do 25 laps a stint. So I decided to just pit early and see if I can get the gap rather than have the other 2 guys take the pit stop before me for it. So thought I'd do that, and of course I think Sam ended up trying to avoid being locked up and missed the cones, so it cost him about 12 seconds on pace. So I think between me and Darren at the moment there's a race definitely in between that 2, but other than that I'm pretty happy with how I strategized that.
So if we do go green to the end, what's your strategy? Pitting lap 75?
Yeah, somewhere around there. Definitely, it's going to roughly be the marker. But of course, there's always going to be that yellow that you always got to have on the back of your mind. But at this point, I'm just looking after my equipment, and I've got to just do my own thing at the moment. But I'm happy.
No worries, mate. We'll put you back up into your race channel, and we will talk to you afterwards, hopefully.
Yeah, we'll do. Thank you.
No worries, mate. Best of luck. There we go, Paul. There's Ruben Phelps. But let's just roll straight on from that, and let's just go straight away to, if I can see that, let's just go straight on to, let's go to Darren McKenzie. So, Darren McKenzie, mate, Ruben Phelps, sorry, Darren, you got a copy?
Yep.
Mate, Ruben pitted a couple laps earlier. Yourself and Demetrius Agathos were doing a great job there and just trying to cover that off. Ruben pitted 2 or 3 laps earlier. Yourself, Ruben, Demetrius, etc. will probably be the leaders of this race. Not going to tell you what Ruben just said, but how's your race panning out? I know you need to pit one more time again. How are you going to get this time back on Ruben?
I'm already making a bit of inroads at the moment. I've dropped it from 3 seconds to 2 seconds. So, yeah, hopefully I can just get in his draft and we can pull away from the rest. I'm happy finishing 1-2 with Ruben.
Do you feel the tyre drop-off sort of stagnates once it gets to a certain position and you can't make much more position? Or do you think that 3-4 laps difference allows you to draw up on the back of Ruben?
Yeah, it should give me a little bit of an advantage for probably the first 10 laps or so in the stint. So hopefully I can catch him by then. If not, I'm happy where I'm sitting. Hopefully I can outsmart him in the next pit stop.
Well, hopefully, mate. We've spoken to Ruben and yourself, so now, viewers, you can hear exactly what the drivers are thinking. So, Darren, thank you for making yourself available, mate, and hopefully we're talking to the end of the broadcast.
Yeah, hopefully. Thank you.
No worries, mate. We'll put you back up into Race Channel 1. Sorry if that's the wrong one, but we'll put you back up into there, and I'll move you up there if you need to. But thank you so much, mate, and best of luck.
Okay,
Well, this is definitely going to mix things up again, which this has really played into Sam Katakouznos' hands now because we have a caution out, so that's really going to help Sam get back to this pack again.
And what is it, Paul? Every time I talk to a driver, we have a caution. How about you talk to the drivers? All right, we've now changed it here on the Indianapolis Network. We've now changed it. Paul Jackson is now talking to the drivers because every time I do, it brings out a caution as we see Brett Campbell, the 015 car, hard into the outside wall and then hard in there again. And that's a big Malteser into the outside wall. And that 015 car, I remember the Holden Young Lions used to be the 015 car in the supercars, and they wouldn't have been happy to have their car look like that. But I'll tell you what, the last couple of days I've had at iRacing, my cars look like that too. So, Brett, it's okay, mate. We get to go racing next time. So hopefully you get that car repaired and you haven't used your fast repair and you can use that again. You can come out and try and win this one. But look who's leading this motor race, Paul. Ruben Phelps, Aussie Esports. Darren McKenzie right behind him. They're definitely not going to pit now. I don't believe they can make it to the end. But if they can make it to the end, Darren McKenzie, Demetrius Agathos are definitely in the box seat of this one.
Yeah, definitely. But as you say, if you'd like me to talk to the drivers, well, I'm going to grab a driver now while we're under caution. I'm going to have some fun with this.
Paul. Do that.
And as I say that, so Sam Katakouznos, do you have a copy?
Hi guys.
How you going, Sam? We saw you had a bit of an unfortunate pit stop or lack of pit stop when you missed the entry there?
Pit stop was great. The pit stop was actually great. It was the lap before that was screwed up. Well, I wanted to... Hang on. There it is. She is.
We'll just let you,
I wanted to
let you
get
get
in with
into
the
your pit
leader,
there, yeah.
and he made a call at the very last minute. And I thought, oh, I'd call it too, but I just couldn't pull it up, and I decided it would probably be better, now that I've screwed it, to just go out and do another lap rather than turn in and give myself a stop and hold or whatever it was going to do for coming into the pits wrong.
Yeah,
so,
it definitely looks...
It was a case of, well, I was going good, now not so good. Please have a yellow come out later on, and here she is, so I'm happy.
Yeah, well, your prayers must have been answered there. So, as we just said earlier on the broadcast, it'll definitely help you to get back there. But it looked a little bit of an indecisive decision to follow Ruben into pits, and did notice you're on the...
coming out of the last corner, so which you're allowed to do, but caught me by surprise. And as it showed, I couldn't pull it up and get her in, so out for another lap and go in that time. It was about time for me to go get some new tyres, because the tyres were starting to get pretty bad. The car was having some amazing yaw angle coming through the corners, especially out of 2 and 4.
Yeah, right. But otherwise, besides that, how's the rest of your race going?
I'm really enjoying it. It's nice trying to figure out what to do with these cars. These cars are not like the old cars out by themselves without a draft. They're pretty hopeless. So unlike the last gen cars where you can make a run for it, you're better off this time to stay behind and tuck in and stay in the draft. And yeah, when you're coming out of corners, you can see someone who made a move on you have no one to play with them, and they fall back pretty quick going down the straight.
And Aidan, you got anything to throw to Sam before we let him go back to his channel?
Not really, mate. Sam Schulte here, mate. Great drive tonight. Doing a great job. You were actually my pick, so no pressure. 61 into 100. But no pressure. But you've been a little bit quiet lately. You're always up the front. A little bit quiet lately. A little bit unfortunate circumstances. We've all been there, done that. I'm sure you're hoping tonight for a better result.
I always hope for a good result, but sometimes, yeah, you get caught up in other people's incidents. Sometimes you make your own mistakes and you just got to wear them. But yeah, like still learning with these new next gen cars. I think this is about the second or third race I've done with it. Like the I like how you got to deal with it. So yeah, it's good fun.
At the end of the day, at the end of
the pointy end at the end of the race.
At the end of the day there, Sam, we're all in the same playing field and we go iRacing, and if we don't do one night, we go well the next night. So that's the pleasure of it. But we go green again. Demetrius Agathos bringing us off to the green. Jamie Nankervis on the outside. Thank you, Sam, there. We will drop you back up into your chat in a moment, but I thought we were about to go green as we're about to go green now. So Demetrius Agathos will bring us to the green flag. Jamie Nankervis on the outside. Daniel Smith, Damon May, Brian Bullock, Jason Holdsworth, and we are green here for the Full Throttle Friday Next Gen Cup Series here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. We are round 5. We are IndySim Esports Network, and we are Full Throttle Friday Night Next Gen Series. And Demetrius Agathos showing a clean set of heels at the front, and he's saying, I'm leading from the front as we're 62 and 100, Paul.
Yeah, and just to go back to some of those stats, so Ruben Phelps actually made a transition under caution through that pit lane there, so maybe just a little bit of splash of fuel just to be sure he can get home. But Dimitri Agathos last pitted on lap 52. Meanwhile, Daniel Smith behind him was on lap 56. So currently my pick at Daniel Smith, if he can get home to the end, is sitting pretty good there up in P2.
He's sitting really good at the moment, 56, but I must say my Sammy K, who's now up into P10s, last time through is 59 as well. And Ruben Phelps is actually last time through in 59 as well, and he's up into P4. So, yeah, Paul, it's anyone's at the moment. We're just over 60 or about to go 60 into 100, so it's definitely anyone's here. Demetrius Agathos at the moment, his best lap is a 51.83. Daniel Smith's fastest lap is a 51.65. And looks like we've got another massive caution as a car licks big time on the entry to pit lane there out of 4.
Well, I think I've just done the commentator's curse now because that was Daniel Smith.
Oh, no, Paul. There we go. That car has seen better days.
Certainly has. It looked like just a little bit earlier he was trying to get around Justin Witcher, lap car there. And it looked like he was struggling a bit. He was swerving a bit and to try and get around. And then Justin was holding that inside line there, which sent Daniel up to the fence, unfortunately.
Yeah, very unfortunate there for Daniel. But we'll just go back and look at that replay at the moment. So, oh, yes. Daniel sent hard into the outside wall. Very unfortunate there by Daniel. Justin, which is not going to be very happy with that move at all, no doubt, knowing Justin. So, definitely put him up into the inside wall, no room given. But anyway, oh, who was that just Sam Katakuzanos just got past him. Who else? Adam Malone on the inside there, as we can see. Norman Clark through there on the inside. Is that Ruben Phelps? Daniel Aguilera Bates in another bit of trouble as he's done all night tonight. So Daniel's not had a great night as well. Yeah, Paul, that was interesting. A lot of different cars, but Demetrius Agathos still leading the way at the moment, as I think we might see him be coming down pit lane. I'm not sure whether that's him at the moment. I do see Michael Shaw up in the background there. There we go. We're behind the behind the pace car at the moment. So Demetrius Agathos in the 66 does lead the way ahead of Damon May. Ruben Phelps in P3 there from Aussie Esports. Darren McKenzie, P4. Brian Bullock, P5. And Brian, Paul, this week he's had a better run. Brian was really quick last week as well, but he had a really, really unfortunate run, which didn't allow him to have a good race. So good to see Brian Bullock there up in P5. Tristan Koch, old Cocky, up into P6. 12 positions up in the 550 car. Andy J. Barber, after being in a wreck early as well, he's obviously used his fast repair, 65 into 100. Up there into P7, Adam Malone in the Monster Energy, up into P8, Tommy Pritchard, P9, Shannon Blackbird, P10, Normie Clark from New Zealand in P11, Michael Budge, P12, Jason Holdsworth, 13th, Sam Katakuzanos has now moved his way back down into P14. So he's got a long way to go now with 35 to go, Paul.
Yeah, he did show a lot of pace, so no doubt we'll see Sam getting his way through the field once again when we go green. With still got 36 laps to go in this race, so we will see Sam moving up into the top 10, I'd say, at least, as Brian Bullock's making his way down pit lane now.
Yeah, if I'm just looking at what I'm looking at best laps, I'm looking at where they've pitted, looking at all those type of things at the moment. I'm actually looking at... All right, so here's one for a smoky, Paul. Jason Holdsworth. Jason Holdsworth's currently P3 in the championship. He is sitting back there at the moment in P12. Last time he transitioned through pit lane was lap 64. He has been through pit lane 7 times, so he has been caught up with a little bit of stuff. But he has fresher stuff than everyone. He's through 64 laps. He's at least 5 or 6 laps in front of Norman Clark, Budge, Blackburn, and then everyone else in front of him is a lot further. So outside of Ruben Phelps, so I think Ruben Phelps actually has the lead of this motor race. I think he's going to win this one. I think Jason Holdsworth is the one to watch out for a minor place in this podium.
Well, if you're going with those statistics, I'm just looking a little bit further down. Dave Oliver, who's pitted 11 times, so I think he must like getting ice cream from pit lane or maybe having a coffee in between or something like that. But pitted 11 times, he's up 16 spots, so he's also last pitted on lap 64 as well. So there's a few cars around lap 64 that have pitted now, so they could have slightly fresher rubber than a few of these guys at the front here.
Yeah, I feel Dave Oliver's been down pit lane a little bit with some damage, but he will definitely have better tyres. So we're about to go green. Demetrius Agathos will bring us to the green as the pace car, rather, if I get my teeth in, pulls into pit lane, and Demetrius Agathos brings us to the green. Damon May on the outside, Ruben Phelps on the inside. Is going to get a good run up the inside of Damon May. Is Damon May going to chop that off? Yes, he does. Ruben Phelps sits in there right behind Damon May. Ruben Phelps looking for a run out of between 1 and 2. He's going to sit in behind there, Damon May. He's going to try and get a run down the back straight here as he gets a run out of the outside of 2. And don't be surprised if we see Ruben Phelps poke his nose up into the inside of Damon May. Into 3 and 4, Darren McKenzie sitting there nice and tight. And as we say that, Ruben Phelps makes the move there for P2 on the inside of Damon May. Ruben Phelps now takes P2 of this motor race. He's about to go to P1. No, he sits right in behind there of Demetrius Agathos. And Darren McKenzie is showing his muscle too, making the way on the inside of Damon May. So now they're fighting for 3rd and 4th. Darren McKenzie getting left behind with that draft at the moment, but Ruben Phelps and Demetrius Agathos taking the lead of this motor race with 24 laps to go. 22 laps to go. Ruben Phelps is going to want to take the lead of this motor race. He's not going to want to sit in behind Demetrius Agathos at the moment, mate. So let's see what Ruben Phelps does as they go down the back straight at the moment. Damon May trying to sit up into that slipstream. Andy J. Barber, 10 spots up on his 14th starting position, up in there in P4. Darren McKenzie into P5 as well. But these two guys at the front are working well. But these guys in 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, if they stop fighting, they'll be able to drag right up on the back. But at the moment, it doesn't look like that's happening. So it looks like Sam Katakouzenos, Damon May, Tristan Koch, a big run down the outside, up to the inside. So he's trying to make his move up into being a podium place getter tonight. But at the moment, Ruben Phelps has taken the lead of this motor race. He's finally got it off Demetrius Agathos. Darren McKenzie is holding down P3. But Darren's left a little bit alone at the moment, Paul. He's dropping or hemorrhaging time over those front 2, and that's going to make it easier for Andy Barber, Tristan Koch, Shannon Blackburn, and Sam Katakouzenos to catch up on the back. But at the moment, Ruben Phelps, Aussie Esports, what a night he's had in the office tonight. But Demetrius Agathos, we can't take anything away from him as well. He's been absolutely stunning in his driving at the front tonight.
In the office? What's he doing in the office? I thought he was in the car. If he's in the office, who's in the car?
Well, it's the only thing he does, so that's his office. That's my excuse.
Sunday drive for him. He's making it look pretty easy tonight. But, yeah, it's a 2-car race at this stage with Ruben and Demetrius. But can't rule out those guys behind because they can close that gap quite quickly as well over a few laps.
100% they can, Paul. It's going to be interesting to see how Ruben and Demetrius work together here at the front. It looks like they're working really well. Demetrius seems like he's just sitting in there behind. They're going to have to do another pit stop, as Ruben made that aware. So At the moment, they're just trying to work together. It's not really a gap that's anything to be right home about and go, okay, I'm good with this. It's definitely not. But they don't want to lose any more gap. If we see the last lap time, it was 52.2 to a 52.2 for Demetrius and Ruben, as opposed to a 51.8 and a 51.9 for Darren McKenzie and Andy Barber. So, and a 52.0 rather for Tristan Koch. So it looks like Darren McKenzie is definitely drawing up on the back here of Ruben Phelps and Demetrius Agathos. And that's all because Darren McKenzie pitted on the same lap as Ruben did. Demetrius Agathos didn't. So Rubens can only work with who he's got at the moment. So don't be surprised when Darren catches up onto the back of this group, which he will do. That maybe you might see Demetrius Agathos move to the back of this group and get dropped off by Ruben Phelps and Darren McKenzie.
Well, we'll let these guys settle in as they're about to go into a bit of a battle. We might jump on board with Darren and see what moves he makes for a couple of laps, so we can just have a bit of a drink of water, and we'll come back to you.
Let's do that, Paul. We'll talk to you shortly.
Caution. What do you think, bud? You think you're all right out there?
Well,
there we go. Sorry, Paul.
Once again, as we've jumped on board here, we've now been graced with a caution. So we'll switch back and see what happened here.
And great minds think of that alike there, Paul. We just wanted to jump on at the same time, but we are under caution here for the Full Throttle Friday Night Next Gen series here, brought to you by the Cube Radio, or the Cube Retro Radio, here on a Friday night on the Intesim Esports Network. We'll just switch back to the the instant replay. We'll see what happens here. So the 69 car here at Damon May up through 3 and 4 by the looks of it. We'll just watch what happens. Trying to get into pit lane. He was going to miss pit lane, and he did, and he came out back on the gas. Looks like we might have missed that one.
Smoke just in front of him there, so I think something happened.
Good from Damon May there to be able to make that decision to miss pit lane. So we will see what happens there. So back to the instant replay. 668 car on the inside there, 6 car on the outside, second outside, 668 car still with a good run. That looks like Adam Malone, the Monster Energy car on the outside. Still struggling to catch up where this incident was, Paul, but we'll see where that was. It might be into 3 and 4 by the looks of it.
It hasn't actually flagged anything as what brought the caution out, so just trying to find what actually happened.
It might have actually just been someone stopping on the inside line, to be honest, that might have disconnected. So that could have brought out the caution, mate. That's hence why we haven't seen it. So there is a bit of smoke there, but we've missed that one, but that's okay. And look who's in the lead, Paul Blocker Jackson. Sam Katakouzanos, P1, Dave Oliver, P2, Ruben Phelps, Aussie Esports, P3, Michael Budge, P4, Demetrius Agathos, P5. So they've all gone through pit lane. They've all taken their final fuel and tyre stop, and they are going to the end here of the Full Throttle Friday Night Next Gen Series here from the Brickyard, Indianapolis Motor Speedway, right here on the Full Throttle Friday Night Next Gen Series, brought to you on the IndySim Esports Network. But Paul, mate, usually we say it's gone quick, but we're 75 into 100. It feels like it's been a long time so far. I'm sure that's our 7th or 8th caution of the night. 75 into 100. I'm sure the boys want to have a nice clean finish in the end of this one.
Yeah, well, I've just had an informant come to me. So Mr. Shannon Blackburn there said he was involved in that caution. So we'll jump back. We might be able to bring that to you. We'll just have a look.
The 06 came down on him apparently. So let's go back and have a look at that one, Paul. We'll just wait to find that yellow, ladies and gentlemen. We'll bring that up. So thank you, Shannon, for tuning in. Keep tuning in if you can, and bring comments. But we're about to go back and see what that incident was. So 06 came down. 05 Andy Barber. Yeah, we can't have a comment on that, Shannon. We're broadcasters, so we can't have a comment on that. But yeah, unfortunate contact down the back straight there between Shannon and Andy Barber there, Paul.
Looks like they all kept going though, so it doesn't look like anyone stopped there. So
yeah, it just seems like
Still not
iRacing
sure,
having a
yeah.
mind of its own, thinking when iRacing will pull its cautions. So good for me though. Sam Katakouzanos in P1, Ruben Phelps P2. So I must say my percentages are a little bit better than yours at the moment, Paul.
yeah, I'm just going to stop picking people. I think I'll back myself in the broadcast booth. But
well, mate, I'll back myself in the broadcast booth, but I'll never back myself behind the wheel of the race car. So yeah, definitely, let's go broadcast booth. We're doing a lot better at that. But yeah, we are 76 laps into 100, 24 laps to go, mate.
this is going to be a wild finish. Sam Katakouzanos, Ruben Phelps, Demetrius Agathos, Michael Budge up there in P4. We haven't seen him up that high yet, so we'll see what Michael Budge can do on the restart here. Darren McKenzie back in P5 there, so there's a few. Yeah, P5th. That's a good one. So green flag. Sammy K is out like a bullet from a gun.
Yeah, Sammy K's off, mate, and I don't mean to pay out on you about your words, because I make up words every weekend here on the IndySim Esports Network, so that's okay. We've just added another one to the vocabulary. But Sam Katakouzanos does lead the way here on the Full Throttle Friday Night Next Gen Series here from Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Once again, Ruben Phelps does follow him up behind down the back straight. Demetrius Agathos, Michael Budge, Darren McKenzie, Damon May, Jason Holdsworth, Norman Clark, Tristan Koch, Jamie Nankervis. That's your top 10 here of the Full Throttle Friday Night Next Gen Series at Indianapolis Motor Speedway here on the IndySim Esports Network. But Ruben Phelps has shown a clean set of heels tonight. He qualified out of P2. He's currently in P1. He's led nearly every lap of this race, minus probably 20%. He's currently doing a great job. Sammy K, after being caught up in stuff earlier, in P2. Demetrius Agathos up there in P3 as well. We're green to the end now, so these guys are sending it, and they are going early. Darren McKenzie's gone, no guys, I'm coming back. I'm faster. I'm going into P3. He's made the move there on Demetrius Agathos, and no sooner will we see it, he's going to make the move there on Sam Katakouzanos as well. And he's going to want to fight Ruben Phelps for the win of this motor race. But Sam's not going to let it up easy either. So these four guys at the moment are doing a great job with a great run. but we do still have this time around 21 laps to go here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Paul, I could get excited now, but there's no point because we've still got Michael Budge, Damon May, Norman Clark, Jason Holdsworth, Tristan Koch, Tom Pritchard, Jamie Nankervis, Adam Malone. So many more in behind in that second group that can pull up onto the back of this first group. We've got 20 to go this time around, and there is a long way to go.
Yeah, we'll just jump back to the second pack because we know the action's going to be at the front in those last few laps, but we'll watch all the action unfold as we get to the back end of the race. Is Jason Holdsworth making a big move up the inside there.
Yeah, and what these guys need to be doing, Paul, in this second group, they need to really be working together. This two-wide action and fighting, I know they do have different tyre wear and tyre strategies and fuel strategies, but the moment they can get in and work together to try to pull up onto the back of this train in front will be better. But if we look at their last lap times, they're not really going to do that at the moment because Ruben Phelps did a 52.07, Sam Kay 52.07, Darren McKenzie 52.06, Demetrius 52.32. But outside of that, they're probably doing the same around as Demetrius Agathos time at the moment. So they really want to push it a little bit harder, like 2-3 tenths a lap. If they can do that for 2 laps, they'll be right up on the back of Demetrius Agathos at the moment. But it's definitely two distinct groups at the moment. Damon May leading the second group at the moment in the 69 car, but Ruben Phelps last lap 52.07, completely the same as Sam Katakouzenos with a 52.07, and they're nearly identical. So last lap, Ruben Phelps 52 flat, Sam Katakouzenos 51.99, Darren McKenzie 52 flat, Demetrius Agathos 51.86, Damon May 52.31. So he's dropped back, but then Tom Pritchard with a big run 51.85. So he's faster than the leaders at the moment. The 5th place car, Tom Pritchard, but he's definitely going to need to work with Pritchard, Clark, and Koch at the moment, or Tristan Koch. I don't know how to pronounce it, but they're definitely going to have to move together to be able to make a move on these front 4. But at the moment, Paul, it looks like these front 4 definitely have this one not in the bag. I can't say in the bag, but they could be in a lot worse positions.
Yeah, definitely. And as we see Norman Clark, Tristan Koch making a move up the inside here, they wanted to get to the front of this second pack of 4 cars, but they just need to all work together, as you said, and I'm sure 4 cars and 4 cars, that front pack's not going to get away from them too much. So if they can all work together, and even if these other cars there, Jamie Nankervis and Adam Malone in the background there, if they can catch up, make it a bit of a bigger pack of this 4, and they might be able to close that gap on the front 4.
Yeah, I think that gap in that third gap's pretty much gone at the moment. I think it's between, as we're 82 laps into 100, as I believe we're going to go green for the end, it's between these first 4 cars and the second 4 cars and who can work closely together. At the moment, I think that first pack is working a little bit better, as we do see the last lap, Ruben Phelps 52.16, Darren McKenzie at 52.07, as opposed to Semi K and Demetrius Ag in a 51.6, 51.8. But then in saying that, we go back to the second group, 51.7, 8, 9, 8. So they're not losing, they're not gaining, Paul, but they definitely need to work really hard, really quickly, because we're only 83 into 100. We are going to go green to the end if we don't have another caution. So this second group needs to work really hard. But I am looking on my lap timing at the moment, my relative, and Damon May is losing a lot of time at the moment to Demetrius Agathos. So Ruben Phelps doing a great job up there in P1. Darren McKenzie just sitting there and stalking him like a night rider and waiting to go. He knows I've got 16 to go. He's going to sit here behind Ruben Phelps for 15. But in saying that too, Paul, I know Darren McKenzie, he's not going to sit there for 15. He's going to show his hand early. It's what Darren does. Semi K, never write him off, and Demetrius Agathos, never write him off as well. But Yeah, the lap times at the moment, these front 4 guys are probably 3/10 up on the gap behind. So if this goes green to the end with 16 to go, Paul, this is the lead of the motor race, and who's going to fight this one out to win?
Your guess is as good as mine at the moment, but we're going to definitely have a battle on our hands in the last 5 laps with these front 4 cars.
Yeah, we will. Ruben doing a great job at the moment. He just went quickest again. Oh, sorry, Darren McKenzie last lap just went quickest again. Best lap of everyone in the race. If we go and scroll it down, have a look at the best lap of everyone's race. So the actual best lap of this race is by Terry Marwood with a 51.42. So he's currently down 20 spots. Looked like he's out of this motor race after being up there early. So Terry Marwood doing a great job early, very quick. So he could have been somewhere in this race. But Ruben Phelps again up there in P1. Darren McKenzie, he's just sitting there, Paul. I know what Darren's doing. I know you know what Darren's doing too. He's going to be sitting there. He's going to wait to strike. Sam Katakouzanos is doing the same thing as well, as is Demetrius Agathos in P4. But the guys behind have dragged a little bit back, and they're starting to drag a little bit back as Damon May is dragging a lot back at the moment on Demetrius Agathos. So they've nearly got 2/10 that last lap, but we'll see how it seems to be opening up again now. So they're not working as well together as we thought, Paul. So it seems to be opening back up again, but these 4 guys at the front are doing a great job, 86 laps into 100. But a big shout out, Paul. We need to make a big shout out and a big thank you to everyone from the Full Throttle Friday Night Next Gen series for allowing myself and Paul and everyone involved in the IndySim Esports Network, bringing you all the images here on the IndySim Esports Network for the Full Throttle Friday Night Next Gen series. We really do appreciate it. We love bringing all these images to you and all the commentary, whether it be good, bad, indifferent. And we are Next Gen Racing. So we look forward to the next 13 laps, as we always do. And we look forward to, Paul, to Sunday night too, as we do for the Australasian Supercar E-Series. But right now, we are Full Throttle Next Gen Series, or Full Throttle Sim Racing League's Friday night Next Gen Series here from Indianapolis Motor Speedway. 87 into 100. Ruben Phelps leads the way. Darren McKenzie in second. Sam Katakouzanos in third. Demetrius Agathos in fourth. Looks like Damon May has now dropped below 3 seconds behind the leaders at the moment. So this looks like the battle for the lead here, Paul.
Definitely hear that second pack of 4 just falling off the pace a little bit. These front 4 guys been working well, but who's going to have the best shot at the end here? You know, has Ruben pushed too hard too early on those tyres, or has he saved enough to manage to hold off the likes of Darren sitting behind him and Sam sitting behind him as well?
Well, we can hear that from Ruben himself because we've got in the booth Ruben Phelps. Mate, you just heard that from Paul. Leading the motor race, he said, bring us up anytime you want. We do not want to take away your concentration. Darren McKenzie sitting there. He is in stealth mode. He is waiting to make that move. You're 89 now laps into 100. We know you can make it to the end. Darren's going to be sitting there waiting to make the move. What's your plan there in the 06 Aussie Esports car?
Yeah, at the moment, me and Darren are just working together. I think Sam is also involved in it at the moment too, but I know for sure the last 2 laps are going to go for it. So I'll be waiting for it, but at the moment we're just cruising in together and see what happens.
And mate, quickly, what are you thinking to cover off on that though? So you know it's coming, but for the viewers at home, what are you thinking? What do you think's going to happen from Darren or Sam? Where are they going to make their move?
I would say they're going to either try to do it on the back straight or come off turn 4, but I think back straight definitely will be when about the time they'll do it.
All right, so we're looking on the back straight for the move with 10 to go for Darren or Sam?
Yeah, I would say either 2 laps to go or the final lap.
All right, well, we'll jump up with Darren and Sam at the moment. We'll see what they have to say as well. But we can't tell you, Ruben, as you're about to go into lap traffic. So we do thank you for making yourself available, mate, and we'll let you go back up into the race channel.
Yeah, thank you.
There we go, Paul. So we need to bring someone else down now and see what's going to happen here. I reckon this is going to create really good viewing or really bad, because we're only 10 laps down to the end. I don't really want to bring someone up into the booth. I knew Ruben said we could do it all night, but what do you reckon, Paul? Do I bring Darren or Sam down, or do I let them race?
Flip a coin. I know the viewers would love to get the insight as well from both of those guys, as would I. So, yeah, flip a coin, roll the dice, see what happens.
All right, well, we've just brought Darren McKenzie down the booth, and I do apologise, Darren. I know you're in a really hot race at the front at the moment, so please concentrate looking forward and just listen to me in your ears. Don't stress, but we just had Ruben up in the broadcaster's booth as well, so he's kept going. 91 into 100. You four guys at the front are definitely the ones that are going to fight out this race. Where are you going to make this move? Where do you think you're stronger? Where's this race going to play out for the 0-2 of Darren McKenzie?
Hopefully, if it stays green for the race, we can have a 4-wide run down to the line out of turn 4.
So your move's going to happen out of turn 4, you believe, mate? You're going to do it out of turn 4, not down the backstretch?
Nah, you can sort of lose a lot of speed around the back end of the track, so it's that's where I'm looking at, a turn 4, carry the draft out of there, and hopefully we can have a good battle 3 or 4 wide.
Well, that'll be interesting to see, mate. And just so you know, I don't talk to Ruben outside of the broadcast, so you won't. He does not know what we're talking about. So, but Darren, great to have you up here, mate. Semi K's keeping you honest, and Demetrius Agathos has had a great run as well up there in P4. So now you're 6 seconds behind P5 at the moment. So this is for the win of the motor race. But, mate, we might just quickly jump on with Sammy K and maybe even Demetrius before we go to the end. But Sammy K just makes the move on the inside here. We'll let you concentrate, mate. Hopefully talking to you at the end.
No worries, thank you.
Mate, we're on board and now he's gone 2 wide. Sammy K's wanting to make that run. We can't jump on with Sammy K now. This is definitely working for Ruben Phelps at the front at the moment, Paul. We cannot say that was commentator's curse. That was just a great run there by Sammy K. And now let's see as Demetrius Agathos now moves into third. And what Darren's going to want to do here, he's going to want to sit right behind them and draw them right up on the back of Ruben. You watch these 3 cars come right up on the back of Ruben Phelps from New Zealand here. So as we see Sammy K at the moment coming into 1 and 2, look how quick this 3-car duo is pulling onto the back of Ruben Phelps here in the 06 Aussie Esports car. But Team Bushfink Racing, Sam Katakuzanos in the 968. We have Demetrius Agathos, who pushed a little bit wide through 2 there, which allowed Darren McKenzie to get a really good run down the back straight. Rather, Darren's not going to want to do much because if he drops down to the low line, he's going to lose that draft. But it looked like that Demetrius there was not happy sitting behind Sam. He did get that run, so he's now fighting, trying to push up behind Ruben Phelps' ball. So now it looks like Darren McKenzie's made the move on the inside of Sam. So they're moving 3 or 4 spots a lap here, Paul.
Yeah, everyone's just trying to juggle spots here and get themselves into that position to have a lunge at Ruben in the final stage to try and take out the win here. But Demetrius been sitting at the back of this pack for majority since the restart. So his tyres are going to be pretty good from just cruising around at the back of the 3 other cars here.
Yeah, what's going to be interesting here, Paul, is you say his tyre's going to be pretty good, but the first 15 cars all last pitted on lap 74. So they're all the same. But definitely how he's been in that hot draft behind Ruben, how those tyres have worked. It looks like as Sammy K, and we're going 3 wide. Darren McKenzie almost said, thank you, we're going 3 wide, but Sammy K says, no, thank you, Demetrius. I'm going to P2. Demetrius goes, no, you're not. I'm going outside through 2 and 3, or sorry, 1 and 2. And Demetrius tries to hold it stead on the outside, but Sammy K goes, no. But Sammy gives him a lot of room. Ruben's dropped right down, trying to get out of that draft. He's only got Sammy K on the inside there. Ruben moves him. Oh, Sammy nearly moves straight up into the inside of Demetrius Agathos. Demetrius doing a great job on the outside of Sammy K, but this is doing a lot of justice for Ruben Phelps. Ruben Phelps will be looking in his mirror, laughing at the moment, going, go hard, guys. Keep going 2 wide because I'm going to go win this thing as we go 97 into 100. So Sammy K has a big run there, being pushed hard by Darren McKenzie on the inside there of Demetrius Agathos. We're going to see a change for 2nd and 3rd in this motor race as Darren McKenzie pushes us up the inside of Sammy Katakouzanos, and he went from 4th to nearly 2nd as we come onto the back straight with 97 to go, or 97 laps into 100. So now Sammy K's been left on the outside and Demetrius Agathos is wanting to get a part of this too, but this means for Ruben Phelps, absolutely amazing. 1.53 seconds in front of Darren McKenzie at the moment. Ruben Phelps will be grinning from ear to ear at the moment, and this one's his to lose.
Yeah, definitely. Look at that gap there. That's definitely Ruben's race to lose now, as Darren, Demetrius and Sam are all battling out and have dropped right off Ruben at the moment.
Yeah, that battling definitely stopped them from winning this motor race. So that is the story of the race. But it looks like if we do go green, as next time across the strike, we're 99 into 100, so there'll be 2 to go next time around. It looks like the battle of this race at the moment for the podium positions will be between Darren McKenzie, Demetrius Agathos and Sam Katakouzanos. So Ruben Phelps, as it stands, as Sammy K sends it up the inside of Demetrius Agathos into 3 at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and he's going to send it again into 4. Is Demetrius going to give him enough room? Yes, he does. Is Sam going to be able to get on the gas early enough? And we're side by side. 2 laps to go. This is for the minor placings here, ladies and gentlemen, of the Full Throttle Friday Night Next Gen Series here. Brought to you by the Cube Radio, right here on the IndySim Esports Network. Sam Katakouzanos up the inside of Demetrius Agathos. It looks like Darren McKenzie's got that jump on the 2 in front as well. So this is the battle for the final place on the podium. 99 laps into 100. All these guys pitted on the same laps, so it's really, really interesting to see the different tyre strategy and how that's dropped off. Norman Clark, 19 spots up on his starting position in P5. What a great job. And we've gone caution. We're going green, white checker for round 5 of the Full Throttle Friday Night Next Gen Series here from Indianapolis Motor Speedway. We're green, white checker.
And Ruben's going to be shaking his head and his helmet with that as he was about to make the line for the white flag there. So that's definitely not what Ruben wanted with that 1.5 second gap over Darren McKenzie.
No, he didn't, Paul. He definitely didn't at all. That was Ruben's race to lose or win, whichever way you want to put it. So that was definitely our top 3 was going to be Ruben Phelps, Darren McKenzie, and possibly either Demetrius Agathos and Sam Katakouzanos. But, Paul, this is where it all changes. Pit strategy, people coming into pits. There's Michael Budge still back in 15th, 74. Every car last time through pit lane inside the top 17 was, inside the top 15 was 74 laps. So that was car 8 by the looks of it as well. Was that? That was Budge.
Yep.
Michael Budge has been involved, so he won't be involved in this last thing. Looks like Michael Shaw's in pit lane as well, as is Brett Campbell. Brett Campbell's had a terrible night. Shannon Blackburn with not a really good night as well, currently 4 laps down. But, mate, 100 into 101, we're going green, white checker. nothing ever surprises us here on the Full Throttle Friday Night Next Gen series. We are 4 rounds in, or we're now 5th round into the series, but it hasn't disappointed. It's been some great racing.
No, but have a look at this. Sammy K. Sammy K is going for fresh tyres. So, I don't know if this is going to pay off for Sam or if he's going to lose quite a few spots here now.
That, Paul, and sorry to cut, that is a gutsy call. Considering track position, there's still 14 or 15 cars on the lead lap, so that is a really gutsy call there from Sam. Ruben Phelps, Darren McKenzie, Demetrius Agathos, and more so Norman Clark. Oh, he took no tyres, so he might have been worried about fuel there, Paul.
That's very interesting.
Because what we saw from Ruben, he was happy to get to the end, and he didn't come into the pit, so it looks like he's going to get to the end as well. So that's not going to be as bad for Sam on track position, as well as not going to be good. Really good for Norman Clark. He's now gone up into P4. The battle we need to look out for when this goes green, Paul, is Ruben Phelps, Darren McKenzie, and Demetrius Agathos. They are 3 of the most aggressive, yet most talented drivers that we have in the Australian, New Zealand supercar or oval NASCAR scene. When we talk supercars, NASCARs, whatever, oval scene, they are 3 of the most aggressive drivers. So we're about to see 2 laps of absolute side-by-side door-banging action here for round 5 of the Full Throttle Friday Night Next Gen series here on the IndySim Esports Network as we're about to go green-white checker. Who would have thought?
Who would have thought? But I've got to go back to that with Sammy K going for some fuel. Like, everyone, the top 16 before we were green, before that caution, they all pitted at the same time. So for Sam to go and take a splash of fuel there, that's got me worried for everyone else at the front here.
Yeah, it does, because I look behind him as well, Paul, and that's very, very valid you say that. So I look behind Sam, Damon May, Dave Oliver, Brad Fenley, Michael Budge, all those likes, even Andy J. Barber, they all came into pit then. So it's either very, very close or they're miscalculating their fuel, because we are under yellow at the moment, so it's going to allow them to extend their fuel run. But we're about to find out as we're about to go green. It looks like the lights are off the safety card there, Paul, as Ruben Phelps from Aussie Esports is about to bring us to the green. Darren McKenzie on the outside as they go down the back straight. Don't ride off Norman Clark here in the 06 car, Paul. Norman's been 09 car, sorry. He's been really quick lately. Demetrius Agathos will be there as well. Tom Pritchard, great job earlier in these series, doing good as well. Koshy in the 550, don't write him off as well. Tom Pritchard 6, as I just said. Jamie Nankervis will hopefully be thereabouts. Hopefully he doesn't get caught up in a bit of rubbish, but we're about to go green here for the Full Throttle Friday Night series for a green-white checker. So, ladies and gentlemen, we come to green. And I'm going to call you all the way through the green-white checker here. The 06 Toyota Camry brings you to the green. The leader of the race, Aussie Esports 06, Ruben Phelps. He brings us to the green. It's all going to be on him when he goes. We got Darren McKenzie on the outside in the 02. Demetrius Agathos inside behind Ruben Phelps in P3. Norman Clark P4. The pace car is in, ladies and gentlemen. The field is in Ruben Phelps' hand. And we are green for the green-white checker here at the Full Throttle Friday Night Next Gen Series. Ruben Phelps with a great start. Darren McKenzie on the outside there, going to want to drop down and try and cover off on that move by Norman Clark and Demetrius Agathos. As he does that on Demetrius Agathos, Norman Clark wanted to show up on the outside line there and say, Demetrius, no. And there's a massive accident, but we're still green. This is the fight for the race. We're coming down to the back straight. It is a green-white checker at the moment, so I do not believe we are going checker this time around. So, Darren McKenzie with a big draft in behind Ruben Phelps. Ruben covers him off and shoves him up into the outside wall. Darren McKenzie sitting there. Look who's there, Demetrius Agathos and Norman Clark just sitting there saying, okay, guys, you go do what you want to do, because when you stuff up, I'm going to take it. So here we go. The final lap of round 5 of the Full Throttle Friday Night Next Gen Series here on the IndySim Esports Network from Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Ruben Phelps, Darren McKenzie. Where's Darren going to make his move? Darren move. It looks like it's a battle of 3 now. Norman Clark has dropped off the lead of this motor race. Demetrius Agathos trying to make a move up the inside of Darren McKenzie. Darren said it to us, ladies and gentlemen. He's going to try and make it on that final corner. And we have a car slow on the inside. Darren McKenzie's trying to get a run on the outside of Ruben Phelps. Ruben Phelps doing a great job at the moment down the back straight. But we're going to go through 3 and 4. Darren McKenzie's going high. He's going to try and get the cut back here. It's still showing white flag. I don't know why Darren's going so slow. It looks like Ruben's already won.
I think they called the race because of that car that was stopped on the track.
They must have called the race because we were showing white flag and then everyone had stopped. I thought we were in for a big thing, but there we go. There's the top 3, Paul. I feel like I'm a little bit let down because I thought we were going to call that, but definitely the top 3 of the race definitely deserved it. So Ruben Phelps, Darren McKenzie and Demetrius Agathos, the top 3 of round 5 of the Full Throttle Friday Night Next Gen Series here from Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
You feel let down. I definitely feel let down after that. Yeah, it's not how we wanted to see the race finish. We really wanted to see some 2 or 3 wide run for the line here. It's a bit unfortunate, but yeah, not to take away from Ruben, as he had a great race all race. So it was definitely a well-deserved win for Ruben.
He did, and we'll just let him do a couple of donuts at the moment in his celebration. But, mate, what a race. Round 5, Full Throttle Friday Night Next Gen Series, Indianapolis Motor Speedway. It was a little bit stop and start at the start. There was a couple of cautions, which I'm sure the drivers wouldn't be happy with. But it didn't disappoint again because the back end of that race created some sensational racing.
Yeah, and speaking of cautions, I'm just going to quickly flip back before we get everyone up in the booth for that green flag restart. I'm just going to have a look at that carnage in the background there that let the guys run away with that on that restart.
All right, so we'll go back and Tristan Koch got caught up. Looks like he got clipped early by Tom Pritchard. Adam Malone caught up. Just an unfortunate incident. Everyone trying to race in a green-white checker. So, yes, that was from pitting as well. So that was a bad call from Sammy K. That answered your question there, Paul. He possibly couldn't have been caught up in that. So interesting call nonetheless. But anyway, excuse me. Sorry there, Paul. Just need to sneeze. So, excuse me, we'll just bring up the top 3 place Gretas, but let's just go through your race results overall, Paul. Ruben Phelps from Dunedin, New Zealand, is the winner of round 5 of the Full Throttle Friday Night Next Gen Series here from Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Second place, Darren McKenzie. Demetrius Agathos, or Dimitri Agathos, as he's changed for Binge Kane Racing in P3, Norman Clark P4, Jamie Nankervis P5. Great job by Jamie Nankervis. P6, Dave Oliver. 7, Damon May. 8, Tom Pritchard. 9, Andy Barber. 10, Michael Budge. 11, Michael Shaw. 12, Daniel Smith. 13, unfortunate for Sammy K. 14th, Tristan Koch, which really unfortunate for him as well. Brad Fenley, 15th after being up there early. Adam Malone, 16. Brian Bullock, 17th. And Dave Misson, 18th, Paul.
Yep, and over we go. So Jason Holdsworth 19th and Brett Campbell rounding out the top 20. Daniel Beckinsale, Shannon Blackburn, Mark Johansson in P23, Justin Witcher, Daniel Aguilera Bates, Reese Belitho, Steve Hobbit, and Terry Marwood, who showed some great race pace at the start of the race in P28.
Yeah, it was some great racing there earlier by Terry Marwood. He had some really, really good pace, and I don't know what happened to his race. So it'd be good to see that when we break down the final parts of this race and see how it all happens. But, mate, we'll go on to the formalities of the race. It was a little bit of a stop-start race, and we had a lot of drivers jump into the booth and create a lot of content for our viewers here on the IndySim Esports Network. But it was one of those races where we didn't know until probably the last 20 or 30 laps. We did talk about who our picks were, and let's just say none of them came out. But let's move to our third place getter, Demetrius Agathos, mate. P3, started out of P10, up 7 positions on your starting position. It was definitely a good race, a solid race, different with these next-gen cars around Indianapolis.
Yeah, it was. I thought there would be a little bit more of an advantage with the draft, but it seemed that it was just right at the end of the straight. If you got a good run, and you couldn't really do much with it unless you got the overrun enough to be able to run side by side into a corner to get the move done. But the race was just full of cautions and it was really stop start. I mean, I ended up in one of the wrecks early on, and actually my engine blew up and I had to fast repair. But and then after that, it was relatively clean.
So, from a series that doesn't really have many cautions, what do you think brought the cautions out at Indianapolis tonight?
I think it was just the speed differential going into corners. With the draft, not really working, but working at the same time. It was like a little bit of there was more dive bombing going on than side by side before the corner, and I think that's what, yeah. And of course, we had a group of 30, which I think that's the most we've had at a race. So there's going to probably be more cautions with more people.
Yeah, exactly right. It does do that. But that is the way the racing is. But Demetrius, you got to be happy with that, mate. Like I said, you've been in the broadcast booth earlier. You had one of your first wins in the truck series earlier this year, and you're making this podium thing a little bit of a habit.
Yeah, well, that's the plan. I mean, I've been trying to just be consistent. I mean, it's it worked out again today. I did a bit of strategy at the start by pitting early, and then I got caught up in that accident. So I thought I better not pit early. So I've sacrificed probably the second stint or the third stint to stay at the front of the field. And I think from then on, I just stayed at the front, and it helped get the result that I had today.
Well, Paul, Demetrius P3 tonight, starting out of P10, mate. Anything you want to add to that? It was a good race at the front. The last 20 laps, it was sort of a little bit status quo. We knew these guys were sizing themselves up for the last couple of laps, which the green-white checker took that out of our hands. But good run by Demetrius, mate. Anything you want to say to him before we let him go?
Well, I've got a bit of a two-person question here. So what I might do, we'll get Demetrius to have his shout-outs to anyone he likes, and then I'll ask my question.
Yeah, obviously, I'd just like to thank the boys with the Bin Chicane team. We're just kind of all together. Everyone thinks we're a team, but we do gel sometimes. Sometimes we we end up running into each other as well. But the boys there. Obviously, Dave from DO Photography, Dave Oliver. He actually designed the liveries of the cars for us all, and he races with us as well in the team. And Blendline TV with the help as well.
No worries, and we'll get your answer first, Demetrius, and then we'll go over to Darren. But before that green-white checker there, both of you and Sam Katakouzis were going pretty hard there, battling back and forth there. So I think the original plan that we actually heard from Darren was, and Ruben actually said earlier before we spoke to Darren that you all seemed to be working together, and then it was going to be on for the last couple of laps, and Darren's plan to try and make it a 4 wide out of turn 4 finish, that one went out the window. But obviously you guys, the three of you battled pretty hard there towards the end, and that let Ruben run away with the race almost. So what actually happened there?
Yeah, like I just that I think I was in about 4 for a good 15 or 20 laps at the end there, and I was just sizing myself up. I was trying to keep the enough tire under me to make a move when I needed to, and when I think we got a better run than the front two guys, and Sam managed to get the run and go up the inside of Darren, and it kind of started the chain reaction of like the moves happening. And then I got to second, and I was right in behind Ruben. And then obviously we all shuffled each other around again, and Ruben got away, and then Darren got away, but then I managed to get past Sam again, and we were running first, second, third until the caution came out on the second last lap.
Yeah, so there was no plan of settling back in. It was just hope for the highest podium spot you could get.
I was trying to I guess so. Well, obviously you want to win, as always when you're racing these kinds of things. And I thought with the way I was tracking there in the last 15 laps, I thought I had a bit more tyre life sitting behind, and I was waiting for the right moment, and I got it, but I just missed it with I think Sam ran it back under me and managed to get back past, and that got Ruben away from us.
No worries. And for you, Darren, basically the same. I think what started it, I think Sam got a bit of a run on you in one of the corners there, which helped pull Demetrius through, and it was just game on from there, a little bit earlier than what you might have hoped.
Yeah, just when you finished that last interview with me, I think it was right as we finished, he threw it up the inside, so he caught me a bit by surprise. So I had to change tactics on the fly, and I just seen sitting in fourth, you could push that guy in third up the inside, so I could help either driver as I wished. And I seen the mistake when I could run up the inside, and I just took it, and they battled it side by side for a bit, gave me that 0.6 of a lead to finish in second.
And Darren Schultze here, mate. Great run again with a P2 tonight. Solid run, as you always do. It has been a little bit of a tough couple of weeks there in the Mackenzie household, and we don't need to go into that at this stage, but it has been a tough couple of weeks. But in saying that, you've drawn on all the strength and everything that you and your family have with what you've been through at the moment, and you've continually been up the front of every race you've done. I'm sure you're doing everything for Jake at the moment. I'm sure you're very proud at the moment. As much as you would have wanted a P1, I'm sure you're happy with P2. And I know all the people in iRacing, everyone around you and everything is behind you. And it's absolutely great again to see you up the pointy end of this race.
Yeah, well, any time you can finish within a tenth behind Ruben, it's been a good race. So it's definitely no shame in finishing second there. And I'd just like to throw out the invite to everyone for the race on the 19th. If you're thinking about sign up, it's for a great cause. Red Kite, they helped myself, Jake, and the rest of the family with bills, transport costs, food vouchers, petrol vouchers. It just takes a lot of the stress of while you're going through all the treatment of leukemia. So it's definitely a worthwhile cause.
Yeah, it is. It is, Darren, and from everyone in the iRacing community, we do send you condolences again, even though it's been a couple of weeks. But we'll continually ride this flow of emotions with you, mate, and we are right here behind you. And it was really nice to say about Ruben there, but mate, don't sell yourself short. A lot of people think highly of you through the iRacing community, and you are a great driver, let alone an even better person. So great to see you up there in P2 tonight, and we hope to see you continually do that, and then hope to see you do that on Weekend Warriors as well on Sunday, that you're currently leading that championship as well. So hopefully you can continue on that one. But yes, you're right in saying is no mean feat coming second behind Ruben, unless you're second behind me. But anyway, there we go. Did you like that little one? You can laugh at me now. But no, great job there, Darren, mate. And with the red kite thing you did mention and that special event, we will be broadcasting that live here on the IndySim Esports Network. We have committed to that. As much as Paul and I would love to race that in honour of Jake, mate, we'd love to be a part of that. We'd have so much more pleasure to be able to bring the broadcast to you and your family and your friends. So we're going to do that, mate. But great job there on P2 tonight for round 5 of the Full Throttle Friday Night Next Gen Series, mate. Anyone you want to have a little bit of a shout out to before we move to Ruben?
Yeah, just Team Hyperdrive, InterSim broadcast, yourself and Paul, and everyone for the great racing. I know there's a lot of cautions tonight, but it's not always like that. It's a big field, as Demetrius said earlier, so still more than what should have been. But in the end, it was great racing up the front.
It was, mate. It was. And it was great to call and a great final 30 laps. So once again, congratulations on your P2 and look forward to seeing you Saturday night. Look forward to seeing you Sunday night, hopefully, and look forward to seeing you back here again for round 6 of the Full Throttle Friday Night Series, Next Gen Series, rather, next Friday night for round 6. So congratulations, but we'll move on to the winner of round 5 of the Full Throttle Friday Night Next Gen Series here from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, my teammate and the leader of Aussie Esports in the Toyota Camry, Ruben Phelps.
Hello again for the 5th time tonight.
Hello, mate. Hello. You've talked us all the way through the race. You've got to the end. You got to the end in P1. Probably not what you saw earlier when you were got into that incident. Not probably what you expected, but that fast repair definitely did help.
Yeah, like I think, like when I got to the front of the field, I knew I could make things happen. But of course, the middle, or the start of this race has been a little worse for wear, you could say, with the amount of caution, especially how easy this car actually is to drive. I'm surprised there was a lot of these cautions tonight. Maybe a lot of people weren't giving an inch tonight. But anyways, with the race, I'm really happy to get this victory. I sort of came in this race, so should have been third the week before, but I got involved in that last lap crash. Should have won last week, but sort of got shuffled out in the couple corners to go. So there was only one alternative tonight, and which was win, so I can keep going up one position each time. So, but there was good race there with Sam and Darren and Demetrius there at when he got second there. I thought when Sam made a passing move there, I was like, I'm going to drop down and let a bit of draft to Sam, because I knew he would get tight underneath because he had slightly older tyres. So I thought if I do that, he gets that draft pull, he'll come into turn 1 or turn 3 and slow the whole 3 of them down to get a gap, which it managed to do that really well because they battled out for about 3 or 4 laps there. And by then I gained myself nearly 2 seconds, but then that bloody... I'm not going to say it again. Another yellow with 2-3 laps to go. It seems to be a trait lately. Where seems to happen all the time in all the races I've done lately. So let's just say there was a few words coming out of my mouth.
I'm sure there was. We did say in the broadcast. Paul actually said that. He goes, Ruben would be absolutely spitting at the moment that green-white checker came out, because you're 1.7 seconds in front and you definitely had that one. But, mate, showed a clean set of heels at the front there and you just put it between your teeth and thought, that's right, that's my next challenge. I'm going to take that. And you definitely did that for P1.
Yeah, I just knew that I had to go as soon as I could. At that restart, I thought, I got a good one, but then suddenly Darren was there. But I think the clock may have run out, because I swear there was an extra lap should have done an extra lap there at the end there. So I think I was a little bit, I'm going to have to say the clock is my best friend right now.
Well, mate, we'll let Paul have a bit of a chat with you. Paul, anything you want to say to Ruben before we move on to the formalities?
Well, I know, and I feel your pain with those yellows, as I did last week at Talladega, and having those yellows come out at the worst times. But yeah, I think that that last lap that you lost out on, I think there was a car that actually stopped on the track, and they decided to call the race. So the admins will probably look at that one back at the end. But he had a solid race all night. Showed a lot of pace. He got caught up in an unfortunate earlier on, midway through, but you had that fast repair in the bank, and you managed to avoid everything else along the way to get back up to the front, and showed why he should be there. So a pretty solid run from you all night. One thing though, do you know, well, for anyone that's actually still here, Ruben, Darren, Demetrius, any reason why Sam decided to pit under that green-white checker? We did see him go, I think he just took a little splash of fuel or something, because he didn't take tyres in that stop. So was fuel an issue at the end there, or do you know why Sam may have stopped there?
I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, sorry, but there was at least there was 3.5 gallons left in my tank when that yellow came out, or was at least 3.8 gallons left in the tank. But those 2-3 laps behind the safety car, I only lost maybe 0.7 of that. So if there was an extra yellow or anything like that, it would have been touch and go, or even if we managed to get that extra lap, it would have probably started running out as we were crossing the line. So it was definitely touch and go. But I know Sam definitely must have had a tire set left. I'm not sure why he did actually make the pit stop after all that, because I think he would have definitely made it with us. But I mean, I suppose you got to do something if you're not sure. So
yeah, we did.
And unfortunately, got involved in something, I think, as well near the end, that last lap stuff. So it's a bit of a shame, but
yeah, he did.
I think he tried to undercut, because I know he came out in the lead in that when we all pitted all together at that safety car, the one before the last safety car. He came out in the lead, so he might have actually went in with less fuel than the rest of us, and then not thinking that there was going to be a green-white checker, and that could have cost him the green-white checker would have maybe ran out of fuel if he didn't pit.
Yeah, because I definitely changed tyres of that caution just before the end there. So, and I know if you're going to do the undercut, he definitely didn't change his tyres, because he definitely was about 6 seconds in the pit lane, where I was about 13, 14 seconds. So that's where he got the lead from. But did he actually pit on that restart? Did he?
Yeah, that green-white checker, he pitted in, so he was only in there for a splash. He didn't take tyres, as we had a look to see what he was up to. But we were just worried for everyone else that the fuel might have run out in your tanks on the last lap or something like that. But obviously you might have just scraped through with that one on fumes. So.
Yeah, I think I managed to, because I was backing off my corners a little bit when I was out front, so maybe it did save enough. And of course, you clutch it while you're under the safety car, so that's obviously where I managed to save a lot. So, but no, it was a bit unusual. But at the end of the day, I still came out and victorious.
Well, Ruben, we'll give you a big shout out to your sponsors. We won't let you go after you do that, because we need to have a chat to yourself and Darren Demetrius about next week. But big shout out to your sponsors, mate. Good job with the P1 tonight. You're making a habit of this. You're doing a good job with these nice, solid results over the last week. So big shout out to your sponsors, mate.
A shout out Aussie Esports. You can find them on Facebook. Of course, myself paints the cars for the team. Of course, I've got a shout out to you, Aiden, for being a teammate. Actually, we've got another driver lined up, but we'll go into that detail a bit later on. But at the moment, just got to shout out and say hello to Mum if she's around.
Kia ora.
Hi, Mum. Hi, Mum.
She's at she's either asleep or
Hi,
I know she
Mandy.
don't work early. Yes.
Get everyone.
Yeah.
Right, Paul. Say
Yeah.
hello to Mandy. Everyone, say hello to Mandy.
Go on, hurry up.
Hello, Mandy.
Mandy.
There we go.
I-
There
I
we
did-
go. We've got love for Ruben's mother. So thank you, Mandy, for tuning in to Ruben. So there we go. He always has a shout out to his mother. So there you go, Mandy. There's one for you.
And if the rest of everybody else was in here, they would be doing the same. I'll make sure they would.
I think next week we'll drag everyone in the booth just to say
I
shout out
just
to
think
Ruben's
Mandy's
mum.
commentating next week. So that could be the case.
I'll
We
give
need
her the
to.
mic, should I? Maybe she could do my interview for me.
Maybe she'd probably make more sense, but we'll have to have a shout out down to Dunedin in New Zealand and have a chat to Mandy and see whether she wants to jump on next week. But Ruben, great job tonight for P1. But we, Ruben, Darren, Demetrius, we move to Auto Club next week for round 6. How are you feeling for Auto Club?
We'll let the winner go first. He can tell us.
Auto Club. Good track. I'm not gonna say too much, but I'm happy with that choice of track. But it's definitely gonna be definitely you got to have a drafting partner or something, because with this new car, you got to work with somebody for sure. So it's gonna be like a Daytona or just about. So bring it on.
And Darren, Auto Club next week. How are you feeling ahead of that one?
Yeah, definitely. I like the track, so aim for a podium and see how we go.
And Demetrius, will finish off with you, mate.
I'm pretty sure from memory that Auto Club was actually the race I made my debut in the Full Throttle series in the Thursday night trucks. Before this sort of the Thursday night truck series came about in terms of a championship. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Well, hopefully it'll bring us the racing we've seen in the first 5 rounds tonight. But Paul, there we go. Round 5 of the Full Throttle Friday Night Next Gen Series. There's your 3 place getters. First place, Ruben Phelps. Second place, Darren McKenzie. Third place, Demetrius Agathos. Not to be unheartened, though, Norman Clark and Tristan Koch rounding out your top 5. So a great job by Norman Clark, up 20 positions, and Tristan Koch up 13 positions on their starting position. And Jamie Nankervis rounding out your top 6, 21 positions up. But then I say that again, Dave Oliver, P7, 22 up. So we do head to Auto Club Speedway next week, Paul. Looking forward to that one here on the Indicem Esports Network for the Full Throttle Friday Night Next Gen Cup Series or Next Gen Series. Mate, what a sensational night of racing.
Yeah, it was definitely action-packed regardless of those cautions that we had. But as we leave Indianapolis behind and we move to Auto Club, so Auto Club's one of my favourite bigger size tracks. You can get some good racing there. You can have lots of probably 4 or 5 wide racing there. So it's going to be good to see if we can get some 5 wide action at Auto Club next week.
Yeah, most definitely. Most definitely. Cannot wait to see these next gen cars around Auto Club Speedway. But before we get there, Paul, we will go on Sunday night. We will go to Laguna Seca for the Australasian Supercar E-Series, and we are going road racing again. So cannot wait to bring that one here on the Indicem Esports Network on Sunday night from 7:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, rather. Can't wait to bring that one to you. Before we then back it up again for round 6 of the Full Throttle Friday Night Next Gen Series from Auto Club Speedway. So, Paul, mate, we've gone Indianapolis. We've gone 100 laps. We've gone 1 fast repair. We've gone round 5. We've gone Ruben Phelps a winner. So this is going to definitely change up the championship standings as we are nearly halfway through the Full Throttle Friday Night Next Gen Series, mate.
Yeah, speaking of the current championship standing, so I was just having a bit of a sneak peek on that one, and as we bring that up, and Daniel Beckinsale, even though he didn't have a great race tonight, finishing down in P21, he has managed to hold on to that lead for the championship. So still sitting in P1, 160 points. Jason Holdsworth has made the jump up to P2 with 151 points, and Dave Oliver up 2 spots to P3 now in 145 points, along with Norman Clark. So a bit of action there going on for that third spot in the championship points, followed by Andy Barber closely on 142 in P5.
Yeah, it has, and P6 is Tristan Koch, who had a good, nice, solid top 5 position tonight on 135 points. Dean Goforth, who actually didn't join the server tonight, who came in P3, has now dropped back to P7 on 133 points, tied by Dimitri Agathos, who come P3 tonight, has moved himself up into the top 8, tied on 133 points. Michael Budge back there on 132. Daniel Smith, 115. Looks like Michael Shaw's tied there, 115. Adam Malone, 113. That's a bad season for Adam Malone from his own standards back there on 113. Darren McKenzie, who got the second position tonight on 103. Ruben Phelps, who got the win tonight on 102. So these guys haven't run a lot of rounds. Tommy Pritchard, 15th. Damon May, 16th. Brett Campbell, 17th. Brian Bullock, 18th. Tim Weston, 19th. Sean Stamper, 20th. Derek Japers, 21st. Jeffrey Ford, 22nd. And ladies and gentlemen, you can go through the rest of your field to see where they line up for the Full Throttle Friday Night Next Gen Series. But Paul, like I said, on Sunday night, we do move across to the Australasian Supercar E-Series from Laguna Seca here on the InterSim Esports Network. Looking forward to that one on Sunday night, mate.
Definitely back to road racing. The second road racing track for the season there, but I did have a bit of a watch on, I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday night at the Pro, like the V8 supercar drivers, and there's a supercar series, obviously the official V8 supercars, running a series as well on the virtual world of iRacing. So the pros have actually taken a page out of the books, and they've gone oval V8 racing as well. So be good to see if we could get a bit of a clash from our guys in the Australasian Supercar E-Series to the pros, and see who goes door to door there. That would be certainly good to watch, and quite the experience from everyone. But nonetheless, it was good watching on that anyway. But yeah, Sunday night we'll be here live again.
Yeah, it was good racing and good to see, and just goes to show these supercars on an oval is actually great racing and great content for even the real life guys for the Supercar E-Series, whether you be a gamer or a real life racer involved in that series. They did do their first round on an oval, so these cars do create great racing. But Paul, we look forward to doing that on a Sunday now on Sunday night. But for now, it is Friday night, and it is the end of the Full Throttle Friday Night Next Gen Series, round 5 here from Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And your winner, as you see on screen there, is a 06 Ruben Phelps. And Mandy, yes, we saw you comment there. Ruben's mum, yes, you are still awake. So thank you so much. Congratulations to Ruben on the win. So that's why we're on socials. We get all the comments back. But Ruben Phelps, the 06 in the Toyota Camry out of Dunedin, New Zealand, is your winner for round 5 of the Full Throttle Friday Night Next Gen Series, followed by Darren McKenzie and Demetrius Agathos. My tongue has been tied all night, Paul, but let's round up this stream as we do. It's obviously brought to you here on the InterSim Esports Network, obviously a major sponsor, the Cube Radio. They are a part of this as well. You can see us on Sunday night, as we've just mentioned 3 or 4 times, for the next round of the Australasian Supercar E-Series. But that is round 5 of the Full Throttle Friday Night Next Gen Series here on the IndyCar Esports Network from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. So from myself, Paul, everyone involved in the IndyCar Esports Network, the Full Throttle Friday Night Next Gen Series, everyone involved in that, all the drivers, all the supporters, we do thank you so much, and we look forward to seeing you here from 7:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time on the IndyCar Esports Network for the next round of the Australasian Supercar E-Series right here on Sunday night.